I was going to say, Andy, you better have a glass.
Yeah, I do. I chilled it too. It's been in the freezer all day.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. Andy's a pro. He knows what's up.
Yeah. So, Richard's got a nitro stout.
He already poured his. That was quick.
I was told to pour it quick on the can.
Richard,
so you get the head.
You're practicing, dude.
A major head on that one.
Yes.
Nice.
Look at that.
She did not say that. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Cheers, everyone.
Yeah.
Like a milk mustache.
So I wanted to drink this one tonight because Andy came and hung out with me, a month ago, 6 weeks ago?
Yeah, something like that.
And we drank one of these in my house because this is by far the best beer that was released this year. Dragon Expressions Triple IPA from Fidens, 10% with Riwaka and Nelson, and it's a rye IPA, which is pretty different, and I wasn't sure how it was going to turn out, but it's like so flavorful and just so beautiful. Felt like this occasion merited a fine beverage, so was saving it for this.
That's a great one. Was that your last one?
Nice.
I have one more, and this is like 3 months now, and it's still amazing.
Oh, wow. I gave one of mine to Bolino.
Damn. Yeah, he was saying he loved it, at least.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
When I was packing those boxes this week to other attendees, those were not going in the box.
Good man. Those are core members only.
It's so insane.
Let's go to the OGs.
There's only one left in the fridge. So
yeah, I got one of the best beers ever. Definitely best of the year. What do you got, Andy?
So good. I got a plump and unfiltered Flying Monkeys juicy ass.
Yes,
can't wait. Canadian.
I can't wait
to fire things up, Andy.
That's quite a name.
Yeah. Just for Paul, right?
I just.
I can't wait.
That's an IPA.
Yeah,
Hazy
it's
IPA.
6.5, and it's pineapple, fruit, and hints of. Well, I better not say it.
No.
Cue all the comments on that one.
How's it tasting?
Good, really good.
Nice.
It doesn't look as thick as yours. I think you could stand your glass upside down and it wouldn't even fall out, would it?
probably.
No, yeah, it's like cement in there.
That baby's thick.
Oh yeah.
Out, I think, eh?
Yeah, he had a little nitro stout. Looked like a small can.
You talking to me?
Yeah, buddy.
Oh yeah, I got a
The
nitro
only
stout.
Richard here. It's because he didn't call him Dick, so he's like, he didn't know who you're talking about.
It's called Cowbell
Richard.
nitro stout.
Flip it right side up.
I only answer. Yeah, right. It's reversed. Yeah. So it's 5% alcohol. It's barley, oats, and wheat. Dark chocolate, oatmeal cookies, and mild coffee notes.
Is that local, Richard?
Yeah, it's Ontario. It's my province. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Nice.
Very cool.
Sounds like you got a whole bakery in there, Richard.
Yeah, I know. It sounds really good.
You don't have to go for dessert after. You just.
And
it's got 1 gram of protein.
There you go. So you drink like 100 of those, and you get your daily allowance.
Precisely.
That's nice.
I pick up where you're laying down.
Is that place nearby, or is it more towards like Toronto, or?
No, actually, it's. I actually don't know where the location is. It's not far from Toronto. Yeah, it's north of Toronto.
Okay, all right.
Little town.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, it's not. I haven't had it before, so I thought I'd try something different.
That's great. You
It's a stout.
drink
I like
a lot
a
of
stout.
stouts?
I like stouts. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I mean, I like different beers, but I like stouts.
Yeah, we love the stouts.
Yeah, I know. I remember that, Paul. I remember you said that.
Yeah. I got that box today, by the way, Jimmy.
Oh, good.
Yeah, thanks, man.
There was no dragon expression in there.
No, but it was solid. It was super solid.
No, just
Yeah,
kidding.
thanks, man.
You got those out there already. So
Jennifer, do you do
Some
stouts?
kind of, sorry.
What was that?
Do you do stouts?
Oh, I like stouts. I really do.
Okay.
Especially if they're like coconut.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great adjunct.
Mm-hmm.
Can't go wrong with coconut.
Yeah, that's like the one ingredient that's ridiculous.
Yeah. People either love it or hate it, from what I find.
Or like
Yeah, which is
cilantro,
strange.
right?
I don't know how you could hate coconut. It's like sweet and delicious and nutty and complex and
It's so amazing in Thai food.
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
coconut
Oh my
milk.
God, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make some coconut rice.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's so yummy.
Oh
Absolutely.
yeah. What are you drinking, Jennifer?
So I am pleased to say that I still had 2 more left from Paul when we got home like a few days ago. We were cleaning out the fridge and I'm like, oh my gosh. So I have a Great Notion.
Yes.
It's baked and stuffed, berry Danish, 6%. It's tart ale with raspberry banana. And yeah, raspberry and banana. Yeah, no, it's freaking amazing. So I was so excited. And then I have another one that I'll save for another episode here in a few days. But thank you, Paul.
Nice.
So I'm down to my last 2, but I was very excited to open this up.
That one's from back in like April. But the smoothies
Maybe.
last for a while. Yeah,
They
that
do,
one's like
yeah.
a spring
It
one
tastes
they
great.
do. Yeah. I've never had one go bad on me.
I love how
Yeah.
long those things last.
We've
like
experimented
crazy.
with them. Paul drank like a 2-year-old one on one episode.
I did.
Oh, really?
It was absolutely ripping. It was so good.
Nice.
Yeah, it was good.
That's crazy. It's stable that long.
Does it depend how you store it or no?
I think it depends how they can it, especially
Oh, right.
because like how much oxygen they're able to trap out of it.
Right.
Keep out. And then, I mean, if you keep it refrigerated, it's going to ferment slower because the fruit in there can like re-ferment if it gets warm. That's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they do last
Yeah,
a
this
long time.
was April. It says April 18th.
Yeah, why are you questioning me? You don't think I know my shit?
No, I could see the date and I'm like, do I give him the pleasure of letting him know that he was right?
You didn't have to. I knew before I said it. That's the thing.
Yeah, that one was released April 15th in 2004.
It's because they always do it for the 420 week. That's why it's called baked and stuffed.
Oh.
There we go. There we go.
Facts.
I'm the host of a serious beer show. Shouldn't
School.
be surprised.
Wow.
You're pretty good at other release dates as well, though. You're like, oh, hey, that one's coming up. You getting some?
Yeah.
On my
What were you saying,
Google
Andy?
calendar, Yeah.
Oh, I was just going to say that you and I had, when I came down to visit you, we had some good beers, man.
That's what always happens when you're with me. You can count on that.
Absolutely.
That's, yeah. From me.
Right. Jimmy's like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Jim got the assist on that.
Jimmy's like, that's not any Utah shit. The best
I'd be doing that Bud Light if it wasn't for me.
with the polygamy porter.
There you go.
Oh my God.
That's a real beer here, by the way.
It totally
Yeah.
is.
That's really,
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
I'm not off the rails.
How is the, what's the can design on that? I don't know what we would
It actually was pretty awesome. They changed the label recently, but it was like a dude with a bunch of girls like half naked all around him.
There's some pretty creative labels and artwork and titles, right? Like,
Yeah, that's a big
Can
part
art
of the
is really
craft beer.
Yeah.
What are you
Yeah,
drinking?
I've always appreciated Great Notions artwork. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Timber. I forget his actual name, but he does a lot of stuff for a lot of companies now.
Cool.
what's the one from Toronto, Andy, that has different artists on each one?
This is my second beer. It's from Hamilton, which is near Toronto, Collective Arts. I always tell Richard.
Oh,
he's
Collective
got a
Arts,
good
yeah.
eye. See the eye?
Yeah.
Oh,
Richard drank one of those on an
It's got a
episode.
good eye.
Oh, I did. Yeah. Collective
Yeah.
Arts. I mean, every can has a different art piece.
Artists.
Artwork,
Yeah, I looked
painting,
up their
photograph.
website, and they got a list of all the artists and pictures that
That's
was
great.
pretty
It
cool.
must cost a lot to have so many different, like you look on the shelf and every can has a different cover. Same beer. And they promote the artists as well.
Yeah, super good for artists. Yeah, they get a lot of traction with that stuff, I think, because just about every can, it gives the credit to whoever the artist was, which is pretty awesome.
They should do that with photographers, goddammit.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Write a letter.
Yeah, Brewhouse. I'm going down there tomorrow to get our stouts, and they're actually doing a feature for one of the artists that they use. They're going to have a bunch of artwork up there for the release, which is kind of cool.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
Yeah, looking forward to checking it out.
So Eric,
Sick.
you could release a beer with each book you release.
Yeah, limited edition. Space,
Yeah.
Stillness, Silence. That's not a bad name for quadruple IPA.
Exactly.
That's not a bad call.
Yeah, knock you out.
That's
Instead of a print with the book, you get a case of beer. 6-pack.
And then that way everybody has to buy them like within a month because you want the beer to be fresh. So it creates a sense of urgency too.
Hot off the press.
Yeah, get that
sure.
shit.
I want 1% of that.
Not a bad
Yeah,
call.
Richard's the idea guy.
I'm just
talk
an
after,
idea guy. I
Richard.
just pace around the boardroom saying, write this down.
Let's keep him fed. Let's go.
Unfortunately, my ideas go out of my head as fast as they come in.
Here in Canada, they just lowered the tax on beer just for 2 months.
What?
Interesting. Because of winter? Help everybody get through the dark months?
I think it was just like a Christmas gift to the public.
It wasn't just on beer; it's on wine and
Yeah, it's on wine and everything but hard liquor.
Okay.
But
It's the holiday season. Let's all get lubed up.
yeah.
It's, somebody's trying to get reelected or something? Or what's
want to
going on?
inject money into the healthcare system.
Yes.
It's a business model, you know.
Look at Richard over there thinking of all this.
We need to get that stuff on it. We need to get that on a bill.
It should pass.
Yeah.
So I
are you
brought
drinking, Jimmy?
something new here. This is Craft All Day by a brewery that I haven't tried before. It's called Beer Tree Brew out of Johnson City, New York, which is like, I don't know, south of Syracuse, north of Binghamton. I don't know how to best describe that, but it's like this middle part of New York in the southern tier. But this one is a session ale, session IPA, sorry, 5%. And they don't have any hops that are listed in there, at least on the can. But it's definitely nice. They have a great like a farm to brewery kind of idea going on there. So they grow a lot of their own stuff. They have a whole lot of food at the brewery itself. But they're growing. I think they're growing some of the grain as well.
It's funny because when we started this show, we wanted to like feature breweries from all over, and we were always trying to get different stuff. And then now, like me and Paul just drink Brewhouse and Fidens every episode. And Jimmy's still out there putting in the hard work, like trying to find these obscure breweries.
Dude, that is so true. I even brought one to the desk to crack, but I was like, man, if it sucks, I don't want to sell it. It's too risky.
Drain pour.
It is. I don't want to like suck this thing down, but they have a nice mixture of beers that they're doing. It's just like they not just the IPA stuff, but they're doing some pills and the session IPA. Excited it's got going on. I'd love to get down there sometime, but it's pretty far away from where I am.
Jimmy's beating the bush for us. He's stirring up business. I like it.
He's out in the field.
He's dedicated.
Yes.
I mean, somebody has to work at this
the
freaking thing.
dealer.
That's how he justifies keeping all the donations and not telling us about them.
Exactly. They're
Keep
just
his
flowing
conscience
in.
clear.
He's sponsoring.
He's working hard to put food on his family.
Beer.
Well, they're downstairs eating all the lobster that I bought. So
Oh,
Watch.
Oh, that's great.
They have some great craft breweries down in New York, Vermont.
They're everywhere now. Everywhere.
Jimmy
I
was
remember years.
his kids were like into cross country skiing, I believe, right?
yeah, that's correct.
Alpine skiing. So we used to go to races in Vermont.
Dude,
When you're
and
on
Andy's
it.
daughter is an Olympic skier, and she's like gotten medals and shit.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's fucking crazy.
Oh,
That's how we got into
congratulations.
photography.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I
He's
used
taking
to-
pictures of her
Wow. That's awesome. I want to hear about
out in
that.
the freezing cold,
Yeah.
like minus 30, 40 degrees,
Yeah.
just standing there waiting.
Lots
He
of
was
fun.
much younger then.
Yeah. I could handle the cold. Now I can't.
You didn't know any better at 40 below.
No, I always look forward to her race in Vermont because I would buy a case of Alchemist, is it?
Yeah.
Black Light. Yeah, that stuff.
Yeah, heady topper.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure.
And they only would sell you 6 at a time, I think, because there was such a demand. But anyways, I managed to get 24 and stuck them in my trunk and went up to my little hotel room, fell asleep. And then in the middle of the night, I woke up and I went, oh my God, like the temperature was like minus 30. So I quickly put my underwear into my car and
You're keistering those babies.
Froze your balls off, but the beer was okay.
But they were okay. I melted.
They didn't explode.
They didn't. No.
Oh,
That's
Man,
going
Got
to
them just in
picture.
time.
I think it was
Taking
like
one for the
in
team.
morning. So they were just slushy.
So it would have been better if you went out to your car in your underwear and the door got locked and you couldn't get back in.
Yeah, that would have been. At least I would have had a 2-4 to keep me warm.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
For a little
Door
bit.
for
In the
Wilma.
morning, they would have found you like Jack Nicholson in The Shining.
Classic.
Surrounded by beer.
No doubt.
Empty
You
beer.
died happy.
Yes, that's awesome.
Yeah,
Paul, you're looking like a yuppie tonight, man. You got your sleeveless little puffy vest on, and
Dude, yeah, I ran in the door.
I've never understood the point of like not having sleeves on an insulated jacket. Like,
Well, for me, it's the guns.
It's for its core
If
temperature.
you have a full coat on, you don't get to see these pythons. So if this was a regular jacket, I just cut all the sleeves off of everything. So
okay,
it's
He's not a girly man.
That's right. It's a necessity.
I think that they had sleeves. I can see scissor marks.
That's right. That's right. Wait, later on, second hour, I'll throw some baby oil on these things, and
yeah, it's gonna be like feathers flying out all episode.
Paul told me the women just tore his sleeves off.
that's right. That's right. Just got to can't.
Just his wife.
That's right. That's right. So I'm drinking kind of a staple on the show. Thanks, Jimmy.
You're welcome.
Eugene's Axe. A little bit of a different art form on this one. It's it's got their standard, the Citra and the Galaxy hops, and it's 8.5. It's delicious.
8.5. Wow.
Nice.
It's a good one. A little low for me, but I'll make do.
You're normally like 14 or 18, right?
Yeah, just usually just get started. You know, you got
I remember Jimmy said he
to
felt
prime
one.
the pump.
What's the one you had, Jimmy, was like 14 or 15%, and you said you felt it the next day after a couple.
Yeah, it was bad.
But Paul, I remember you were laughing at me because I had one with like 6%, and I was like,
The baby drink.
you called me a girly man.
I thought it was apple juice.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
That's milk in Portland, dude. That's how we roll over here.
that's more. That you get more percentage than your fermented apple cider in your fridge, right?
That's right. You know it.
Well, Andy, thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
You've been doing all right.
Yeah, I've been doing
Yeah?
all right, running around. Today was a busy day because my daughter flew into Toronto, and I live about 2.5 hours north of Toronto, and it was like snowing. So it was a 3-hour trip. Grabbed her, drove three hours back. And I think I mentioned that it was my grandson's birthday today.
Yeah.
I went to a birthday party. My son-in-law was going, "You want a drink?" I'm going, "No, I'm going to be drinking later." I think you should have a drink. Anyway, yeah. So here I am. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So you and Richard live like 3 hours away, 4 hours away?
3 hours. Yeah.
Okay.
3 hours away. So it's just far enough that, Richard goes to a lake called Rice Lake. So that makes it a little closer. I think. How far is Rice from Toronto, Richard? About
It's about an hour.
hour? Yeah. So sometimes, when Richard's at the lake, I'll drive out and we'll go shoot around his area. And
That doesn't sound very fair. He drives an hour and you got to drive like 2 hours.
No, actually, I have to drive 2 hours to get there. I'm
Yeah, from
2/3
Kingston.
closer.
Gotcha.
But I
Nice,
was
George.
during COVID. Richard photographs at this park called Frontenac. He loves it. So I drove out a couple of times, 3 hours there, 3 hours back to shoot with him at Frontenac during COVID.
Yeah, that wasn't fair.
Yeah, not worth it at all.
That was fun. That's a great park, man. And
Yeah, it's nice when you don't ever see anybody.
yeah, there were so many photographers there, Richard.
Well, now that you mentioned it on our episode, there's going to be like 100 people next time you go.
I know it.
They wouldn't know where it was. But
Yeah.
True.
It's way in the middle of North Canada, man.
Nice.
Yeah, and then I was just on Richard's Venice trip. So after Utah,
Oh.
I went to Venice with Richard.
you were
that
at the
was
That's
second
pretty
trip.
different from Utah.
Yeah, a lot. Yeah, a little. Yeah. I was on the second trip. Richard was there for two groups.
24 days.
Wow.
That's crazy on that small
I
little.
did 23 days from 6:30 a.m. till, I don't know, 7.
I was there for one day, and that was enough for me.
We get away from the tourists, so.
Yeah.
That's
How
great.
many?
Anyway.
You've been there how many times, Richard?
I did 16 years in a row before a pandemic, and then this is the 17th time, but it's a no-brainer in the sense that I can fill them within a snap of a finger, so why not? I need to make a living, so. But I also love going there. It's just a different thing.
That's awesome.
So you like shooting urban stuff as well, Andy? Like the colorful doorways and.
Yeah, not as much as landscape, intimate landscapes, but it's fun. And Richard and I always have a laugh. We like the same music and same comedy and stuff like that. So it's always fun. And
Dangerous mix, 2 12-year-olds.
I know.
But Andy, you do street photography though, so you should tell them that.
Yeah. In Toronto, before COVID, I did quite a lot of street photography.
You're a pretty serious street photographer. Well, I don't like the labels, but that genre.
I used to love it, but then COVID came along, and that was that for COVID. And then afterwards, everyone was now there's no mask, but for a couple of years, everyone wore masks, and I don't know, it just didn't do it for me. Taking a shot of someone with a mask, I don't know, it just didn't look kind of right to me.
Yeah, it'd become like redundant after a while too. Like everybody looks the same.
Yeah,
Not as much expression.
And then my daughter had a couple of kids, so I moved further north. So I still have a little place in Toronto that Richard stays at sometimes when he's flying out. And
It's a nice condo on Lakeshore.
Yeah,
Not a little place. It's pretty nice.
yeah, it's got a pretty nice view of Toronto.
Oh,
Is that
nice.
where you are right now?
No, I'm in Thornbury, Ontario, about 2.5 hours north, and that's where my daughter lives with her husband and kids. So I bought this little tiny house, and haven't furnished it yet, and it's like a block and a half away. So I help out when I can and get to see kids, all that stuff. And plus, you know what? There's some pretty nice shooting around here too. There's some, a beautiful river and fields and trees and everything.
You have a pretty internationally famous photographer not too far from where you live.
Yeah. About 10 minutes away is Edward Bertinsky lit.
Oh, okay.
Oh, cool.
Major photographer in the world. Yeah.
You don't got to tell us.
Yeah, I know. I haven't run into him here. I've met him a couple of times, and we've talked about Thornbury, and there's a couple of great coffee shops and a bakery. And he told me, hey, I'll run into you sometime at the bakery, but I've never seen him here. But he's always, I think he's like in Africa now or something.
Yeah,
You
he
might get a
travels a lot.
restraining order. If you park outside his house, you might get a restraining order on you.
Yeah, exactly.
So how's it feel to win like every single nature photography competition that exists in the same year?
That's crazy, eh?
I'm getting tired of seeing your name everywhere, man. On fucking billboards, like, everywhere I go. Andy Mielzynski.
It's crazy. I never imagined. I just, what my goal was just because I guess both the competitions, if you're in the top, whatever, 101, they put your photo in the book. And I was thinking, hey, I'd like to be in that book. So, that was my goal, to be in the book. And last year, I never even made it in except for Tim Parkin picked 5 extras, the images he liked. And one was one of my images from Waterton, which is south of Alberta, right on the Montana. Big, huge fire there. So all the trees are burned. So it makes for really.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah. So then I just sent in a bunch this year, just kind of hoping to maybe get in the book again. But I guess I got lucky.
You overshot.
Yeah, exactly.
Was it the one, Andy, the one with the fire and the trees? Wasn't that one that you weren't going to submit?
Yeah, I think Richard was kind enough to take a look at my images last year and this year, and kind of review them with me. And yeah, I wasn't even going to submit them.
I'm pretty brutal on them.
I had a bunch of others.
Good man.
Richard goes, "What do you mean you're not putting that in?" And I go, "I don't know." But you got to put that in. So yeah, and then yeah, we went through them this year again. So Richard's my greener.
I was editor.
Yeah, and but yeah, Richard knows his stuff, as you guys know.
Yeah, I can think of worse people to have as your editor for sure.
Yeah.
That's
So,
great.
That's awesome.
and I guess,
So how long ago did you guys meet?
well, for sure, I think 2007, maybe even 2000.
Didn't it start as a joke? I was doing these full-day seminars that are
Yeah.
Aw,
Oh shit!
Look at
I
these guys.
love it.
There's a story here. Well,
Yeah.
those just have to tell you, those glasses were a gift from one of my participants. I was joking around in a restaurant, and these are little kids' glasses.
I was gonna say.
She gave them to me at the end of the workshop. Celia is her name. She gave them to me as a joke present. So I put them on for this picture.
Richard's been wearing them ever since.
Yeah, ever since. Yeah, that's got me turned on. Yeah,
You guys look like an '80s alternative band. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's like that saying, "Do these glasses make my face look big?"
Yes.
This is a great shot.
That's like, oh, that's Dumb and Dumber.
Hey, you guys are a couple savages.
It totally looks like an album cover.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Richard would be the lead singer, and then Andy would
The
be
front
like,
man, yeah.
guitar or something. Or
Yeah, let's go with like Depeche Mode or something here.
oh yeah, like tech.
Yeah,
Yeah, total tech. Total
Andy
sound.
would be on the keyboard for sure.
Yeah, he's just
think it's like
rocking it.
The wizard.
I
Yeah,
think
he's
the
like-
first. Go ahead.
I think
The first time we met, I think I was doing these seminars, all day seminars, like 9 to 5, and there's 3 different components with, 2.5 hours each part. And a couple of Andy's friends come up to me and they said, "Richard, we haven't seen you in a long time." And I said, "I got a pretty busy schedule," but I jokingly said, "I'm going to be in New Orleans in a couple of weeks doing a workshop." I was joking, and I go and do this workshop, and they're there. We got our hotel. Why don't you come over to this hotel now? After I finished my business, that was funny. So that's my first work with Andy.
yeah, in New Orleans.
25 years ago.
Yeah, I didn't know Richard actually didn't invite all of us. We just showed up.
Well, I was just joking, but it's okay. I was being sarcastic.
Never joke, Richard.
It was fun though.
Such a great photo.
That was from Newfoundland.
Yeah, I've been with Richard to Newfoundland many times. I guess the first time I went, he had a 2-week thing. So I went for the first week, and I drove for that first week because there were 2 cars, 8 participants, 4 in each
2
car.
SUVs, yeah.
Yeah, and then I think Richard's driver didn't want to drive anymore for the second thing, or they didn't show up or something. So anyways, I stayed to drive the second car, and that was a lot of fun. Richard
You were a participant, and then I got you to help me with the driving part on the 2 SUVs.
Richard's
It was
such
his
a
plan
baller.
all along.
Yeah, he's such a baller. He's got his own driver.
Yeah.
Sorry, someone brought me Christmas cookies. I'm like kind of a figure in the neighborhood, so people want to come by and bring me shit.
That's nice.
Hey, we get it. Hey,
They got the wrong address, right?
Yeah.
what's in those cookies?
It was just.
I don't know.
I got oatmeal cookies in my beer. The one-stop shop. So Andy was in Sicily with me many years ago too, and I don't know. You've done quite a few trips, Japan and
Yeah.
Oaxaca, and I don't know. There's quite a few.
Yeah. Oaxaca and Colombia.
What was your favorite one?
Oh man, I do love Newfoundland because I'll tell you, Newfoundland is really chill, relaxing, beautiful landscapes, no people. But Venice is nice. They're all great trips. You know, Richard's trips, and then you guys know Richard. He's like very generous with his participants and showing them stuff and sharing. Really good. But Newfoundland's always fun, and Richard gets a cabin with 2 bedrooms and a bathroom in between. So like I've stayed in the same cabin with Richard, and we just always
Same bed.
not the same.
I locked my door.
Andy.
Thank God, but
I locked my door because the goats are too much for me.
Wow.
Richard shows up with this big padlock.
Richard is now he's moved from a casual member of the show to a honorary.
Oh yeah, he's warmed up.
I've learned from Paul. Paul,
Yeah.
I learned from Paul. You're the best.
Yeah,
Not sure if that's good or not, but we'll take it.
What was your least favorite workshop with Richard?
I really haven't had one. Seriously, Eric, like none.
You can tell us after the
How could
recording.
there be a least
Yeah.
favorite? They're all amazing.
No, they've all been good. Richard jokes with me that he went to Morocco for 5 years, and I never made it because I think most of those years my daughter was skiing, and I didn't want to miss any of her races for anything. So, and at that time, I actually was photographing for Alpine Canada, photographing ski racing. So I didn't want to miss any of that.
What was the biggest award that she received?
She won a World Cup race in Germany. Came second at the World Championships in Vail, Colorado, and a third in Zagreb, Croatia.
That's amazing.
You have
That's
to
really
consider the timing is like milliseconds, fractions and
Oh.
fractions of a second difference.
Between like first and second place?
Yeah.
Like ridiculous. They were actually going to make it thousandths of a second, and then they decided that's crazy because can you imagine losing the gold medal by 1,000th of a second? So
Yeah. If you just farted, you would have won.
exactly. They would have pushed you across the finish line.
Yeah.
Robin Williams has a great one with the bobsledders on that. Great stand up on that.
What
Two men lose. The 2 men lose.
Did she do multiple events, or did she do a single?
She did at first, Paul. She did downhill, and then and all of them, all 4, Super G, GS, and Somme. And then she had at the Canadian Championship, she had a crash in downhill. I had a pretty bad concussion, and I think that was her last downhill. She just didn't want to hurt her brain anymore because she really she couldn't even remember anything, and her vision was messed up and stuff like that. So then she did GS and Somme. And then GS is Giant Slalom, and she was much better at slalom, so she just concentrated on that. And
Wow.
and for the first, so she's been to 4 Olympics. So the first 2 she did Giant Slalom and slalom, but the last 2 she just did the slalom.
Wow, that's super impressive.
And your other daughter's a professional water skier, right? In the early days?
Yeah. We did water skiing all summer and snow skiing all winter. So the younger one went into snow skiing and the older one went into water skiing. So I spent a lot of time in the States and Florida and Carolinas and Virginia, Texas, all sorts of tournaments, Michigan, New York.
Wow.
You're
That's
an
pretty
honorary
cool.
American.
Yeah, super.
We ran into a lot of nice people, man. Fun.
Well, if you guys think this photo's cool, just wait.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Oh, wait a minute. Yes.
Yeah, that from the boy band?
That's the psychedelic furs.
Yes.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that was on the loop. That loop was awesome.
Yeah, we went up like every day and found different stuff. That's what I do every fall season. Like, that's why I love living here.
That wouldn't be beer, would it?
No.
Oh, absolutely not. You think I would be drinking on the job like that?
No. Not in your contract.
Yeah, that jacket I lost because here in the early winter, it was like freezing cold in the mornings, but then it would warm up really quickly. So I left it somewhere on some bank or something and never saw it again. But yeah, that was a fun trip with Eric. Eric was very kind, showed us around and showed us his favorite spots. And
You hear that, you guys?
Yeah.
I'm a kind, generous man.
The great ambassador of Utah.
Yeah, but you probably stole his coat. That's the real story.
yeah, where's my coat, Eric?
Yeah, I saw Eric wearing it on the program.
You bastard.
Yeah, it was funny because Eric, we went to, you were talking about coconut rice. Remember we went to a Thai
That Thai place, like 2 nights in a row.
Night.
Yeah.
I was all ready for a beer and dinner, but then Eric told me, no, they don't have beer here.
I took Andy to a good barbecue spot too, because they don't have that in Canada.
Yeah,
Oh, nice.
Oh, really?
yeah, takeout.
Not really.
We went to Eric's place.
Yeah. Came back to my place. We had some drinks, but he didn't want to spend the night after. So I don't know, his bedside manner is kind of weird for me, but he went and got a hotel, whatever.
Hey, good move, Andy.
Yeah, I told him he could sleep over.
Good move.
It was true. Wow, look at the fall colors.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, it was a pretty good season. There's a camera laying on the ground for some reason.
Oh, wow.
It's probably still there.
Look at that haircut.
Hey, did you lose
I
your
know.
camera
Look
too?
at the short hair. Wow.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Right down to the wood.
I've been buzzing it like every month or so. I'll probably buzz it again soon right now. It's getting shaggy. It's just easier that way.
Yeah. Whose camera is that on the ground? Mine or yours?
I think it's probably Jack's.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe put it down so you can take the picture.
Good. Yeah. Yeah.
You guys take your own photographer with you.
Yeah.
Documentation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, that's fun.
Jack and I flew down. We spent some time around Park City. Then we went to Factory Butte and a lookout there. And then we drove over to see Eric. And that's where that Fish Lake image came from.
Nice.
So, yeah. Cool.
Good you the goods.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, yeah. Look at that.
Oh, yeah.
I always ask, men with big tripods, are they compensating?
Look at Richard. Wow. Coming alive.
I'm going for a hat trick.
I know.
Yes.
Richard, I'm not compensating. I'm overcompensating.
I made this picture in Newfoundland during one of them, but I'd like
Yeah, it
the
looks like you
fact that-
processed it and everything too. It's like a Sebastião Salgado photo or something.
Yeah, that's nice.
I think I should.
It's black and white.
That guy in the distance, he's 7'3".
Really?
Man.
No,
It's like Jimmy.
but it's one of those perspective things. But we always get a kick out of but when Andy has that full height, he has to look up at his flip screen and you can barely reach the functions.
Yeah. Sometimes that tall thing comes in handy.
Yeah, you need that perspective, that pointing down and
Look at the
Yeah.
rock
I do that
he's
all the
standing
time.
on.
yeah.
Well, yeah. It's Richard laughs at my tripod.
I feel so. What do you call it? What the hell? That's
Oh, shit.
That's enough of that. That's my Jimmy Page haircut when I was 20 years old. That's enough of that.
You've been like pumping a bit of iron there, Richard, or what? Pretty buff.
I was 20 years old, so that would be the 70s. But
You got to grow it back out again, man.
Dude,
yeah.
I mean, let's get the band back together. Come on.
Yeah, he was,
Come on, yeah.
really great.
Man.
Lead guitar, right? Yeah.
Yeah, you play the guitar, slap the bass.
Yeah.
Hold on.
I need to throw this into like AI so it can up-res it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to get this thing cleaned up.
Yeah.
Make some t-shirts. Call it the dick pic. This thing's phenomenal, dude.
It's an uncanny resemblance to Jimmy Page.
Yeah.
Not many people had long hair like that in high school, but I was a little different. But there was a few other people.
In the 70s? Are you kidding me? I thought everybody did.
Well, not everybody, but there were some, yeah. But
Hey, Richard, one question. Camaro or Mustang?
no, none.
What?
Zero.
No.
Come on, dude.
I couldn't afford it. At 20 years old, I couldn't afford a car.
Okay, it was a Nova.
What'd you have? Like a Dodge Dart?
He had a
I
Charger.
didn't have a car when I was 20.
A Charger.
No, he didn't. With that haircut, you didn't need one. The ladies were driving you around.
Did you have a
There you
Schwinn
go.
bicycle?
Are you kidding me?
I was introduced to all these amazing bands. That's like when the Rolling Stones and Led Zeppelin too, and
Oh, yeah.
There's like an Ozzy resemblance here too. Ozzy Osbourne.
oh, I remember Eric and I were talking several years ago about our love for Black Sabbath
Heck yeah.
back in the old days,
Stuff.
God, that's a great pick.
those 70s. That's enough of that. You can go on.
How'd you score this?
Andy got me this.
Andy.
There's a few others that I
Cheers.
told Andy he can't use.
That's so good, dude. That's such a good
Some
pick.
of those shirtless pictures that my girlfriend had taken in high school, I didn't want him to send those.
Oh, man.
Which girlfriend?
Eric, I asked for them.
He's like, there was a line of them. Call your shot.
I said to him, how about those ones without the shirt with those muscles? He goes, nah.
No, it's a little bit much, man.
Oh, man, that's good stuff.
You can move on. Good.
All right.
Now we're getting into some pictures.
Richard was starting to blush.
Yeah. This is amazing.
This
is a really
great.
nice
It's really
image.
cool. I love
Never
Larry.
heard of. I've never heard of him.
Really?
Larry Monczka.
Now.
He's
Is he on
Getting educated
Instagram, Andy?
tonight.
I think he's on Facebook, but is he
no,
on
only
Instagram?
on Facebook. I actually asked Eric if that was okay, if it was okay that he wasn't on Instagram, and Eric said, yeah, no problem. He's an amazing photographer. He used to write for Photo Life as well, I believe, Richard, did he?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And him and his wife's fabulous photographer too. They live in Southern.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, Kathleen Pickard.
Well, Jennifer, you know from Lens Work.
Lens work.
Yeah.
Yep,
Oh,
I was
yeah.
just going to say that's where I know his work.
Yeah. They've had a lot of work in there and seeing in sixes and stuff like that. And I think
Yeah.
Kathy had a picture, and I think it was like the top 25 images. They had an issue, and one of her images got picked as the top 25 of, I forget what the thing was, but I should know. But this was taken up at Georgian Bay, which is where I am. But they go way up north. They go every spring and fall. They book, I think, 7 or 8 days, and they go back to the same place every year. So they get to know the place really well. They know, what the sun does, and they know, how deep the water is and how clear it is. So they go because in the spring and fall it's really cold water and it's clear, crystal clear. So and then they do also shoot around Lake Erie. They live in Port Ryers, and they know that area really well. All the beaches and the meadows and the trees, and they just it's like their backyard.
Is that near Lake Erie?
Yeah,
South of Hamilton? Yeah,
Yeah,
more or less.
yeah, near Port Dover.
They're both really amazing photographers, and but very different.
What's her
as well.
name?
Kathleen Pickard.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Oh, yeah.
Kathy.
Different last name.
Different last name. And they both, they're both very prolific. They shoot a lot. They make books, they print, they show, they enter contests. And I think between them, they've made like 15 books or maybe even more.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
But they're very prolific and they work hard at it, and they're really, really good at it. So.
Do they do work together? Like, do they marry their images together in some way, or
Well,
separately?
I've shot with them, and I know that they, when they get out of the car, they go in different directions. So they do see differently, and they shoot different things. But they do often have shows together, and Richard knows we have like there's a little group of 8 photographers, and we meet once a month, and Larry and his wife Kathy are members of that group. So we call it the Four Corners FF, and we make a book every year. So my daughter walks by the like 2023 book, and she goes, "What does FF stand for, Dad?" And I go, "Oh, that's the Four Corners Photo Fuckers." So that's our name. And we got some pretty amazing photographers in that little group, and we discuss it like that.
I was going to steal that name.
Yeah.
Very nice.
I love how in this image the sun star sparkles are like the subject, and like what they create collectively, like the form in the center. It's really cool.
I asked Larry about this image, and he said that, usually he shoots from shore. They have a cottage right on the lake, so they shoot off their deck. But he went in the water. He said it was freezing and slippery, and it gets deep. Sort of looks pretty shallow here, but it gets deep pretty quick. But he said he had to be in the water, and he said he was like trying to figure out the angle so that these little sunbursts would be at their best distribution and stuff like that. And yeah, he did a good job. F-22, he said. And anyway, yeah, not that it matters.
Super cool, and it's really unique as well.
Well, it matters in this case because if you're not like at a small enough aperture, there'll be like blobs. You won't get like sharp, crispy stars.
Exactly. Yeah, and the rocks underneath are pretty cool because they're distorted enough, not too much. So there's still rocks, but they're kind of looking a little weird.
Yeah, I like the blue tones in the rocks. Like I like how they're not super colorful. Everything's kind of in like a gray-blue color range. And yeah, getting that separation with those stars is pretty incredible because that's hard to do without them all kind of turning into giant blobs.
Absolutely.
It's almost like it could take a whole bunch of frames trying to get one that where they're not all merging. But that contrast between the sharp edges of the stars of the sun and the cool, funky, smooth lines of the rock is really pretty cool.
This is wonderful in color, but I would like to see it as in black and white also as a comparison.
Knock it off, Richard.
Pardon?
Respect the artist's decision.
Yeah. I respect my own stuff too. But
quit trying to impose your own taste.
Larry told me he was thinking of a saying when he was shooting this: "Joy is peace dancing," and the rest of it I can't remember it, but he was thinking of that. But yeah, and then they shoot all sorts of great stuff. They shoot meadows and fog and frost, and if you check their Facebook, you'll see the wonderful work. And it's all most intimate stuff.
Yeah, and I really like this image from Kathleen that you shared too. So I didn't know they were husband and wife until you said that.
Yeah,
this is super great.
Phenomenal.
That is beautiful. That warm and cool. Oh,
it's so ambiguous too. It looks like ice, but it's not.
Yeah,
because of bubbles.
Yeah, it looks like solid almost.
It doesn't matter what it is, but it just looks beautiful.
Yeah, she told me she shot this up at Lake Superior. So they do venture to other places, but Lake Superior is way up there. And she told me that the blue comes from coniferous trees that were around, and then a few light rays would shine through the trees, and that's where it almost looks like electrical current to me. The bubbles are amazing, and just the blue on the bottom and the blue on top sort of frames that whole area. Just a beautiful moment in time.
Yeah, those wistful highlights on the top are wonderful.
Yeah,
to balance it out.
Yeah, it's really great.
You can see the rocks underneath too in the upper third.
Oh yeah.
There's so many cool elements happening here throughout the whole image. You just start in the front of it and just kind of walk through it. And it's really nice.
she did a whole project on sort of seeing through the water and like the dancing light ripples over colorful stones and waves and like I said, they go up to the Great Lakes, so they've got this right at their front door.
That's a great project.
Yeah, they're both very, very good photographers, very prolific. I find their work very inspiring.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always amazed by how some photographers can just make like such simple subjects so captivating by the way they capture them and everything.
Right.
Making something out of
That's
nothing.
because it requires imagination and being able to see.
Yeah, two things I lack.
If you can't make extraordinary images in ordinary places, then you can't do it elsewhere.
Exactly.
Yep, true story.
Paul's picking up the pace.
Yeah, hey.
The same one, Paul?
I saw Richard like licking his chops over there, so I'm like, I got to pick up the heat here. So this bad boy was released yesterday. I got some for you guys, so don't worry about it. This is a Brewhouse Lord of the Scorched Church.
Nice.
That's a great name.
Yeah,
Is that a
pretty tasty.
rebrew? I feel like.
It's the triple dry hop version, so it's ramped
Oh,
up.
right. Okay, yeah, TDH.
That's it. I think, yeah, I got everybody some of this, so it's good. It's, hazy.
I think Jimmy said he didn't want any, so
No, Jimmy didn't say that. Jimmy.
said he had too much or something like that. Or
So I usually let like yesterday's, it's sold out, by the way, in one day. So I usually let this one set for like a few weeks, but I'm going to taste it for you guys. It's a,
if I remember correctly, it was really good last time.
oh, it was good. It was really good.
No.
Yeah,
Like-
all Citra hops.
Yeah, all Citra. 10%. Oh, man. Come on. Come on.
You only got one can, is what you're about to say. God damn.
What a commercial.
Exactly. Yeah, it was a 1 can limit. Sorry, you bastards.
Well, thanks for trying it for us. At least you could tell us how it was.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
yeah, it's really good.
Do a selfie and send it to them.
Yes. Hey, maybe we can drop me in between you two savages on that album cover.
Right in.
Oh, a 3-piece and a soda.
Yeah, we need more cowbell in the music.
Yes.
I just cracked another one here. This is Internal Energy from Fidens. It's a spiced red ale. So they've been
Wow.
trying out some new avenues. But I had one last night and it was really tasty.
That sounds good.
Spiced red ale.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not like a spicy heat or anything like that, but it's definitely like a complex. It's like honestly like the best red ale I've had.
Wow.
But they're saying cured sumac, wild timber pepper.
Huh.
Interesting.
I got to pick up the pace, man.
You're going to have to open one of those Bud Lights.
I know.
Lightweight.
It's so good.
It's very Christmas appropriate, Jimmy.
Thank
Very-
you.
Very well
Trying.
done.
Yeah, it is. Very seasonal. Good call.
Well played.
Might need to grab a few more of those.
They'll probably last a while, so you could stock up on them.
Yeah, it'll last. So it's 5.6%.
Nice.
This is super interesting.
Yeah, I never
So
heard
cool.
of Sergio Tapia.
Yeah, he's from Spain, Seville, I think. Yeah.
You know the story
This is
behind this, Andy,
fascinating.
right?
It's like crazy moss algae stuff, or in like
Yeah.
Rio Tinto.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It said he won some award with this, and it said that it's algae, and he went to some pond 3 days in a row, but the water was too high and the green didn't show. So I think he waited, and on the third day the water dropped, and he had the green. Yeah, like when I saw this, I went, "Oh man, is that ever super cool?" It looks like a painting, an abstract, and in fact,
Yeah.
online they were comparing his work to Willem de Kooning, the painter, and so I looked him up, and yeah, sure enough, he's got some pretty abstract work, and I also thought this would be good because Richard's really big on going to galleries and looking at paintings and looking at different art and as inspiration and pick it up there, Richard. But
Yeah, well, that's made me the way I am. Whatever it is I've reached today is all from that.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a lot of beautiful movement and energy in this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Dynamics, movement, and energy and expression from the color interaction.
He's got some really great stuff. I'm looking at scrolling through his stuff right now. I wasn't following him, but yeah, he's got
Definitely worth a follow.
Yeah, absolutely.
For sure.
he's only got like 2,000 followers, 2,200 or something.
I was saying to Andy, that makes a lot of sense because there's a number of followers has nothing to do with what your work. I mean,
Exactly.
Well, if they all buy a print, he'll be set for life.
Right. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's got some amazing stuff. Look at that.
So Eric, had you followed him?
No, I never heard of him before.
Okay.
Check out that mud, Jennifer.
I was just gonna say, I'm like, oh my god, this mud. I might need to leave the room.
I need to excuse myself.
Take a deep dive.
Jennifer's now regular.
It's so good.
All right, I'll look him up too.
Called it.
I'll have what she's having.
Exactly. No, he's got some cool stuff. Really, that's a great book, Andy.
There's there's kind of a cool repeating theme in there. It was like you're looking at some abstract scenes, but there's also like human figures in there.
Yeah, it's a little ghost one.
Yeah, like it's a
That's a really good call out.
Go
Chewbacca.
follow his ass right now.
That's right.
But Jennifer, you do a lot of marine stuff. I'm totally seeing jellyfish in this,
Definitely.
Yeah.
like the caps.
Yeah, I can
kinda-
see that too. Yeah, the little bells and their
tentacles.
tentacles.
Yeah, the bells, right?
I think looking at an
And-
image like this raises your heartbeat. Right?
Yeah.
Sorry,
No-
Jennifer. Didn't mean to cut
No
you.
doubt.
Oh no,
this-
you're fine.
I mean, this is perfect. I mean, this is what this show's all about, is like introducing folks to people that are, we just don't know about. And it's
Sure, it's a big
Really
It's
world.
all very random anyway,
such a great share. Yeah, thanks.
Oh, thank you. And
Well, I like the story too. Like the fact that he, made an observation and then came back a few days later when the conditions were more like kind of what he was seeing. I love photography like that. I do a lot of that myself. It's just, observing is a huge part of this, and patience.
That's really
Yeah.
Not having preconceived notions of how things are supposed to be.
Exactly.
and waiting for the right time or whatever. Yeah, that's great.
Sometimes that's the danger of social media, is that we're bombarded by so much stuff. It's hard to think for ourselves. I mean, I have a hard time even forcing myself to post on social media because I don't really go on as much anymore. I just really don't want to see so much stuff. It's sometimes overwhelming. But that's just me, and it all depends on your journey and your years.
Yeah, I don't mind seeing stuff. I get inspired by seeing lots of stuff, but I just spend less time on there because I want to maintain my concentration, and it's so fucking distracting and addicting.
It's designed to be addictive, right? It's
Oh, yeah,
very
exactly.
nature. Yeah.
So I'm very cautious with it.
It's not like it's a pure photography scroll either.
no. Yeah, I start
Get a
looking at
lot of
Especially for Jamie, he's following all sorts of weird shit.
me too.
I keep getting these Will Ferrell reels.
Yes. Yes, that's right.
That's great.
And my 12-year-old brain goes down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, you got to break it up a little bit.
Yeah, Richard's always sending me weird little videos from Canada and stuff.
I sent you one recently by two hosers, the
Yeah.
Bob and Doug McKenzie. It's like
Yeah.
a stereotype of Canada.
I showed Andrew a good video. That was a stereotype.
Yeah.
Canada.
That's awesome.
Anyway, we digress.
low hanging fruit right there.
I mean, this one is it's so the colors and just like the
And to know that it's from nature, I love the fact that it's just reality and the way it's presented.
yeah, super good.
It makes it, that's inspiring to go look for the uncelebrated in the little ponds and the little places that are not normal.
Yeah, and the movement's really nice too. I really like that part of it. I mean, the colors, of course, but the movement's really.
The movement and the dynamic orientation even adds to that.
Those diagonals are incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd never seen anything like this, so I thought I'd share. Some of his other work, like it's fabulous, but this for me was really unique.
No, it's great, share. Good representation.
A little bit of asparagus in there, right?
Ah,
Yeah.
yes.
Or fiddleheads. You know those ferns, fiddleheads?
Oh yeah, fiddlehead ferns.
And some of these folks I've followed, and sometimes Richard will share an image with me that he really likes, and write a little note. Now check this out, and this is art, and so you'll see a couple.
I would do in capital letters. This is effing art.
Yeah. A couple of these coming up.
I'm trying to get my point across.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
Hey,
was
guys.
surprised, but yeah. Anyway.
You guys need to do your little spin-off show where you guys share photos that you like.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dick and Andy.
The Andy Dick Show.
That's
Yeah.
right.
See? Yeah.
Wait a minute. Why am I participating in this name?
It's a good idea.
He
That's
hates
a ring.
all that.
Ooh.
Now, I am a big fan of Luis Afonso. I'm familiar with his work, and this image is incredible.
Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah.
Really
That
love
is
it.
so pretty.
This is
Has a
one of-
very living feeling to it.
It's
Yeah,
so
creature.
amazing.
yeah.
Yeah, he's got great stuff.
This guy's Portuguese. He lives in Lisbon, and I think he does a lot of tours and a lot of books. And I think he's got 2 books.
Yeah,
And
I have a really nice book by him.
oh, okay, cool.
What's
I think this was
title of
the
it?
latest one he did. He's working on a new one. This one's called Casa, Home.
Great.
Yeah, and he's only got 3,400 followers. So,
That's another example, right? Again, there's another example.
and this I think Richard pointed out this shot. I was following him, but yeah, Richard I think pointed out this is those roots look like they're reaching for water. The thing looks alive,
It does.
and
Yeah.
That's a good way to call it out.
I mean, it is alive, but yeah, it just feels like animated, like
Moving.
in motion.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Yeah.
I think he called it the secret life of trees.
Super cool.
And I know that I think he talked about, I know, everyone talked about the rules of thirds and everything. And I know that, those go out the window once you know them. But, someone was saying that this is basically divided up into thirds horizontally and vertically. And not that it matters, but it is a very balanced composition.
You should take those rules and erase them from your mind.
And I know Richard hates rules.
Well, this is bullshit, really.
Yeah.
I know.
Well, yes, it can work on some, but not all. But then if it doesn't work on them, then people are forcing everything into it.
Yeah,
Richard's
Obnoxious
motto.
I become.
Richard's motto is "I am the fucking game." That's it. I
I've
fucking
become
love it.
so obnoxious, but really,
I love it,
seriously,
dude.
I've seen the damage. I've seen the damage for years and years and years.
No, it's great. That's the way you roll, dude. I love it.
Put the
You
straight
need a
jacket
shirt
on.
that says that.
Yeah.
Put it on a shirt and wear it.
Dick
I'll
Martin,
put
I
it on
am
a
the
straight
fucking
jacket.
game.
Richard wants to do a rehab clinic.
Yeah, I definitely. Mine would be Dr. Drew of photography.
Yes.
I could see
Great.
that.
I see the damage so bad. Like the last 36 years of teaching, I've just seen so much damage. I feel so bad for people that are so restricted.
Too many camera club meetings.
Well, obviously rules have a purpose in a certain way, but then people are enslaved to them and they force everything into that. And it just takes
Regardless
away
of
all
whether
the-
or not it's appropriate or
Yeah,
makes
so
any
it's
sense.
like you could take 100 of my images and maybe 5 or 6 of them fit into that so-called rule of thirds or whatever the hell that stupid thing
Yeah,
is.
fuck that.
And then, so like all men should wear size 8 shoes. Well, it wouldn't work for me.
That's right. You're
Not
fucking
me
Dick
either.
Martin, dude.
Not Jimmy.
No, hell
You're
no.
fucking Dick Martin, dude. You're a
See
third
the size of my tripod.
On the dock.
Oh, how we go downhill so quickly. It's so slippery
Doesn't take
slope.
much.
No, we're
Exactly.
in the gutter most of the time.
Yeah.
I promise.
Jennifer's been around. She's like, doesn't take much with these guys.
I promised Eric I'd keep my mouth shut, but it's really hard sometimes.
No, dude, you can't promise that. You gotta keep it rolling.
And I look at Paul.
Bad influence.
Yeah. That's all right.
Amazing image, though.
Yeah. I read in his bio that he wants to convey to viewers more than he just sees. He wants to convey something, which he does. You know, it's more than just sort of something he just randomly saw.
Isn't that the rule of fourths though in that one?
This one,
just measuring.
or maybe
I'm just joking. 1, 2, 3. No, 3.5.
Richard, get your
Rule
grid
of
up.
3.5.
Richard's got a little grid that he puts over his images.
Fibonacci spiral, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, right, exactly.
My brain is a spiral.
This one's fantastic.
Oh, Sally. I like
I love
Sally's
Sally's work.
So clean.
She is so inspiring and so poetic. She just did a book with Kozu. Should be amazing.
Is it coming
Just-
out?
Like it's
Yeah, it's
available
out
for
now.
pre-order. Or you've seen it.
It's out. It's all ready to press. It's ready to go. Ready to
Oh,
ship.
cool.
She went to the printing press on. It was a couple months ago.
Yeah, it's
So
called
it's all ready to ship.
Stillness in Motion.
Stillness in Motion. Yeah, fantastic. So I
think-
communicated
Yeah, I
with
love
her
her
about.
work.
Yeah, I have a project coming up with Kozu, and I've communicated with her about it with her experience, and it's very positive as I thought it would be.
Nice.
Just wonderful image.
Yeah, she's got a lot of different work. I think she does a lot of camera motion and multiples and
A bit of montage, or maybe who knows.
and I know yeah, exactly. And I know she I read her bio too. She loves spending like hours in front of some blowing grasses, you know, just photographing.
When it comes down to technique, I don't think it matters about necessarily the technique. What really matters is that you produce the work and you present it, and that's it.
Yeah.
But look at the ghostly trees behind these delicate branches.
Yeah, it's awesome.
There's a lot to find in here over time, right? When you look at it.
Yeah.
And those background trees have a lot of structure.
Yeah.
I think the longer you look at it, the more they kind of appear. Fog.
Yeah, appreciating images takes time, just like developing friends takes time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it takes forever, you fucking guys.
Hey, trust but verify.
It out.
Still waiting.
Paul, isn't that language hurting?
It is. It is.
You never hear us talk like that.
No way.
And yeah, Sally, she's from the UK. And she's got a lot of followers. So she's the only one of the photographers that I sort of put in there that has quite a decent following.
But I think it's good to point out that, I mean, her book is going to be amazing. I mean, I don't have a copy yet, but it's amazing what I've seen of it and the images that are in it. And
Well,
I'm excited
I need to
get a
order
copy.
it.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I know that book company makes beautiful books too, Kozu.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, so beautiful books.
Yeah, I heard they're coming out with a banger pretty soon.
Maybe even a couple.
Whoa. Yes. Some heat.
I'm looking forward to the old books, and I'm looking forward to some new ones.
Yeah, they keep putting them out.
Yeah, Richard still hasn't seen my book because apparently you failed to deliver it to him.
No way. It's sitting right here. Do you want to see the little caption he wrote? I haven't even looked at it because that's none of
Wait a
my.
minute. So, Andy, just a question.
Here we
How
go.
come you didn't bring it to your condo?
Well, I
You
know
didn't know it's going to come
said
through, did
that.
you?
I brought it up here because my bookshelf is up here. So immediately when I got up here, I put the new book, Eric's second book, beside the first book. But I brought yours up here too. So when I went to Venice, Richard stayed in my condo when we got back for one night before he caught the train back to Kingston. And I went,
Just a quickie.
yeah, just a quickie.
Well, there's no transportation that late at night for me. So.
Right.
So yeah,
Did they sleep on the bench at the Via rail station?
God.
I could have slept at the train station, right?
You always have a choice.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I'll have
That's
to
enough
get-
personal talk. Let's move on.
Beautiful
Yeah.
image, Sally. Looking forward to the book.
I told Richard
Yeah.
he kept his copy because you ruined yours.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Can't open it anymore.
I don't want to.
You guys are sick.
I wore out the pages.
Didn't a cat pee on it?
Something like that.
Allegedly.
I don't know if it was Tapia, Richard.
It's a euphemism these days.
Boy. So Sally's book is shipping.
Ooh,
That's the summary.
Yeah.
exactly.
It's great. Looking forward to that one.
Wow.
This one's really cool.
It's cool.
I met this is a kind of scenery I've actually come upon many times, like in alpine lakes where there's still residue of frozen snow on the lake shore, so like some of it is melted, thawed, but then the rest is, but I've never ever conceived of something like this, like photographing it in this way, like is really, really cool.
Yeah, super nice.
Really great treatment. The contrast and that texture in the water.
Yeah, the competing textures are super nice.
You don't immediately think of snow when you see that.
No.
Right. I thought it was like stone at first.
It was like gypsum or some kind of a stone, petrified rock or something.
and it's cool how the water like mimics the patterns in the snow, but it's more complex.
Yeah, that's what I was just going
Same
to say.
direction though.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
that
right,
greenish
Jennifer.
tint there, greenish hue.
Hey, I was just going to say everyone he has shared, I have already been following. So
I don't see her. Is this spelling correct?
Yeah, I've been following her.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's correct.
Huh.
her
She's got,
profile
like,
has a dash and then another name, Lehr.
Okay.
like 400.
That's my problem with handles on Instagram is I wish people just have their name on the handle as opposed to,
Yeah.
it's easier to find them that way.
She's from South Germany. And this is, I think, an alpine lake in June. And I just like the juxtaposition of the two elements. And to me, it seemed, a little ambiguous as to what's actually going on. So I kind of
Paul, I'm pretty sure you shared one of her images in a previous episode even.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You must remember, Paul.
Like from it was from like one of the NLPA book episode we did, I think. It was like a black and white, like really dramatic, moody scene.
Okay. Okay. I got you.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yep. I totally know what you're talking about. I got her right here.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. I am following her. Yeah, man. She's got some great stuff.
This is a very unique way of seeing.
Well, I did my homework because I kind of went through that episode, and it also has a list of all the photographers that you guys presented. So I didn't see her name on it. But yeah.
His first selections were like Ansel Adams, Peter Lick.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of Peter Licks.
He didn't have Peter
Eric
Lick on the
Bennett,
list.
some James
Peter,
Rockwell.
no, I don't think so.
Right.
Yeah, he wanted to feature like all of my images. Like, come on, man, that's not going to look good for me.
He said it's
appreciate
cool.
it.
I like it, but you're too much of a fanboy. You need to like branch out a little bit.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Even though they are in the same boy band.
I had a few, yeah. I think I had a few too well-known photographers in there. And yeah, so anyways, I shifted course.
No, your selection's been great, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did really good. Yeah, and if we've only shared her once, she certainly deserves.
Yeah, it was way back. Within our first 4 episodes.
Yeah,
If you have to think that hard, yeah.
Yeah.
It was like a super dramatic image with like a little spotlight, like a dappled light image. That was really cool.
yeah. I can't carry the torch for all of us. I mean,
Might have been in the Arctic or something like
I need your
that.
help.
Paul, that's a heavy load to carry.
I mean, I get it. I really appreciate it. There's some heavy lifting going on here.
That's why you need your protein.
That's right.
The edge of the of ice gypsum I know we're talking about ice, but like the edge between that and the water is, it's also wave-like, which is also
That line, yeah.
adding to
That
the line is super cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it almost looks
Yeah.
like the ripples kind of fit into the grooves.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, if it were straight
Yeah.
across, it certainly wouldn't be as effective.
Right. That's caused by like the speed of the wind is like just right
Yeah, perfect.
and the right direction.
Right.
Man, I wonder how far off that ice or snow the water is. Like, that's hard to tell too. Is it like 6 inches or is it like 2 feet or
Yeah, like a
6?
big drop off.
It's whatever you want it to be, really.
Or is
Yeah.
it submerged?
Because I think it's great when something engages your imagination and everybody can interpret on their own levels. That's the success of an image, really.
Agree.
Yeah.
We can all interpret it on our own. We bring to it everything from our life experience, and we can have fun with it.
Yeah.
That's why I like the lack of context.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like a pretty simple image, but it's got a lot going on. And even that part in the snow and
It's clear this photographer's not damaged.
yeah, exactly.
No need to sign up for that rehab clinic.
She was apparently since age 5, because I read her bio, she was a pianist. So she was studying piano and then I think she quit piano and did record labels or album labels or something like that. And then I think she said photography took over. So
There's a great connection to music and creativity.
there's a lot of photographers who are and were musicians.
Yeah.
I play the maracas.
Kind of like your guys' album cover we looked at earlier, but
Yeah. Well, I don't want to brag or anything, but I play the stereo.
Jennifer plays a tambourine.
I was gonna say I've played piano since I was like 5.
Oh,
You still play?
yeah.
Well, I don't have my piano is in storage in Illinois, but yeah, I haven't actually touched keys in a few years. But oh yeah,
How
I grew
convenient.
up playing.
You guys should get her to bring it out.
Yeah, she got off easy just now. I was about to make her perform.
yeah, I ripped some episode. Just get on there and just slay it.
Write a little
I miss
jingle
my
for our
piano.
intro.
Yeah, right. Yeah, get us a little jingle going.
As if it's in storage, it's probably about 6 feet that way.
Wow.
Oh, Fritzy.
Yeah.
This is sick.
Wow, that's amazing.
Nice.
So I figured you guys knew Fritz. He's got some nice stuff. I know he won the black and white thing at the International Landscape Photographer of the Year this year. He won a black and white photograph of the dunes. I think he spends a lot of time at the Valley. I'm sure Jennifer's run into him. He's probably been on one of your trips or maybe more. Or...
No, we've just met and we've gone shooting a lot. We actually we spent Thanksgiving with him. He and his family came up to Death Valley and we had a really nice time.
Where is he
He's a
based?
super nice guy. He's in Arizona, in Phoenix.
Oh, I didn't know. So this is a Death Valley photo?
I would assume.
I believe so. He's originally from Venezuela.
I
Okay.
was first introduced to him out of Chicago 4 years ago and all those subsequent years of conferences and on social media too. Nah, really powerful image.
Yeah, super.
Great
Super
work.
great. Yeah, great selection there.
It's pretty prolific too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that little bit of sand moving with the wind back there is amazing.
Yeah.
It really changed that piece right there. Really changes the dynamics of the image.
And I love the mystery and the darkness.
Yeah,
All this BS about detail in the shadow.
yeah.
That's what I miss about film. It was so contrast. Yeah, I love that darkness and the shadow. But you can get it in development too, But
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
this
there's
is
a lot going
powerful.
on. I mean, there's so much detail in the foreground, and just then you get back in there and you're like, you just continue to work through the image. It's really cool.
Or just light.
Yeah,
Yeah. and
very unique view of that.
I think he shoots a lot of different stuff too. He shoots like macro. He won some competition with a mushroom underside of a mushroom. And
Yeah, he's in like architecture and all kinds of stuff, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
wildlife portraiture. It's just it's pretty
he
crazy.
only has like 1,200 followers too, so like it's not like, you know, like Richard said, the number of followers means nothing.
Yeah, absolutely.
I say, who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Because if you got onto it early on, you'd have a huge, because the algorithms changed, you know, like
Right.
They change
Shot.
almost every 3 days, right? Or every couple of
yeah,
days.
no shot. you're
I don't
gonna get
see I don't see
200,000.
anybody's work anymore. I have to go digging for it.
My three followers are right here on this show. It's Jennifer, Eric, and Jimmy.
Make it 2.
I blocked you a while ago.
Yeah, good block.
Down to 1, man. Come on.
And I just kept sending them an invite, and they finally gave in. They're like, "All right, dude, we'll take a look. We'll see what
He
you got
bribed me
going."
with beer.
Yeah, exactly. Here's a
That's
case
how
of
you really
beer.
sound right
Hit that friend button, will you?
Follow.
I follow for beer.
That's right.
That's another T-shirt.
That's another T-shirt right there.
We have a lot of them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and yeah, in his bio, yeah, it says that he's from Venezuela, and it reminded me of Freeman Patterson because his parents loved hiking, and I think his father pointed out a lot of different stuff like light and rocks and trees, and his mother was a gardener, and I think he learned how to see stuff from his parents, just like I think Freeman Patterson's mother had a huge influence on him on being able to see different stuff. Richard knows more about that than I do, though.
That's beautiful. That's super cool.
Fantastic.
Just a different way of looking at stuff.
Yeah.
Hey, Jennifer, did you introduce us to your second beer that you poured?
I did not. So this is a Drecker. It's fluff
Ooh,
and
yeah.
stuff. It's an orange mallow fruited sour. It's amazing. Really
Did you
good.
get that out there?
Yes, actually, we can find Drecker at our local liquor store down the street, which is super
cool.
exciting.
Yeah,
Those are
good
usually
smoothies.
solid.
They have good smoothies and good hazies.
Yeah. So I was excited to find this. But yeah,
They're like
Tasty.
Minnesota. Are they Minnesota?
No, they're
North
in
Dakota.
and they actually built a hotel like right at the brewery that's like all Drecker themed on the inside and stuff. Like the rooms are crazy. I don't even know how the fuck you would sleep in these things. They're like red and green and pink and like with all the art everywhere and like statues and shit inside of them. I forget what it's called, but yeah, it's like if people fly
like
out there, they can
crazy
just like
artwork.
stay there and visit and drink. And
Yeah, that's cool. You can get that there.
yeah,
it's
I
very
was
cool.
super excited.
Yeah, that's
yeah, they're in Fargo.
North Dakota.
Like the movie Fargo?
Yeah, or the TV show, which you should watch if you haven't.
Oh, it's great.
It's
So
really
good.
good.
I didn't know. I thought it was just a movie. Yeah, cool.
Oh man, yeah, there's like 4 seasons. They're all different
be
stories.
great.
They're all super good.
Yeah.
It's like a different
I
storyline.
guess
every
5
season.
actually. Yeah, different characters, everything.
Yeah,
I'll have to check
but
that
they
out.
get the cast is crazy good.
Yeah.
It's our intermission pro tip for Paramount, right? No, is it Paramount or is it
That one has moved around. I think it's on Hulu right now because it's an FX
Hulu? Yeah.
Yeah.
show.
Yeah, that's a good one. Brought to you by Hulu.
Whoa.
Wow.
Who's this savage?
That's,
I
Yeah.
know this guy.
Hey, that's Andy. That's the one I chose. Yeah.
Dude, this is beautiful.
I like it. It's so
Stunning.
primal.
Yeah, it's really
It's so
clean.
primal and timeless.
The contrast of the like seaweed texture stuff, moss, and then the water that's just like flat, smooth is super cool.
It's like horsehair, right?
yeah.
It's really dreamy.
It literally is.
Very sculptural.
This reminds me of a Richard Martin scene. I can see why you picked it.
You guys had a
Oh,
pretty,
I didn't pick it because of that. I just picked it because I'm trying to find
Why?
something different.
yeah.
It's not on social media and it hasn't been shown to the public, so I thought I'd choose something like that.
And Andy doesn't have a website, so I don't know how you even found this.
I found it because we were doing an image review for one of the workshops, so I happened to have it in my folder.
You saved
this
it.
is
There's
Newfoundland.
Sold it
Bank
in a
Bank.
master file.
Good
Keep down in the back pocket.
This is your group was at the top photographing the schnipple.
Yeah, and you were down. You were propelled down into the bottom.
Yeah, to get down here, it's pretty iffy.
Pretty
sketchy.
iffy, yeah.
But that orange or yellow horsehair really intrigued me. I had to come down and take a gander at it.
The group were concerned about you, but I said, well, if we don't see him at breakfast, I'll go look for him the next morning.
Send out the search party. Yeah,
What do with all the goats?
Looks like it would be very,
effective-
very slippery rock right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's a good call. Super.
I like
super.
the
It's very
subtle,
sculptural forms.
yeah, and the subtle yet effective blue tone in the right side.
I thought it was an aerial at first. Like the first few seconds it was up there, it took me a minute to go, oh, okay.
Just, yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of cool when you have that effect on it, where it's just like you're not really sure about that.
Yeah.
The water's not really calm like that. Did you use a long exposure to get that calmness?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I thought. Yeah,
It was a good move because it would be different with the texture of the water.
Yeah, your eye would be drawn more to the left side instead of focusing.
So good move on that.
The rock wouldn't be as bold.
Good tool in the toolbox, Andy, to use.
Yeah, I enjoyed shooting this. It was took me a while to find something because this stuff's pretty messy, and I kind of like order out of chaos, and I find it hard to find some kind of order out of this.
I don't think there's any disorder here, do you?
No,
It all depends on where you're coming from, right?
Yeah, to me, it feels very calm and clean, and
Because the stillness of the water. I mean, that application of, slow shutter speed was an important decision to achieve this.
yeah,
Obviously, you need a composition, of course, but yeah, a nice rhythm.
yeah, it's really
edge.
great.
Yeah.
well, that yellow stuff is all over the place down there, and it was pretty interesting stuff.
The tides aren't really excessive like you get in Nova Scotia, but there are tides.
Right.
They're more gentle in height.
Yeah, exactly. I've been to Nova Scotia with Richard too, where the tides are, what are they? Some crazy.
Well, 35, 38 to 45 feet, and every wave action is another
Christ.
couple inches of water level.
Wow.
So you got to be very
crazy.
careful. You could die if you don't get back out. You can't swim that stuff.
Yeah.
But in Newfoundland, it's much more gentle. The tide levels are much more gentle.
Super nice.
So
Yeah, in Nova Scotia, yeah, Richard and I were pretty careful because we were making sure that we checked the charts and knew when the tide's coming in and stuff, and then beat it out of there because you don't want to get trapped down on the beach when tides come.
I don't trust myself, so I use my alarm on my phone because I get lost in what I'm doing, and I have to remember to get back around the corner. Serious shit.
Comes in fast, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've gotten caught out on certain beaches and had to swim back with the camera bag and everything.
Wow. Yeah.
Brutal. Wow. I think we were, in Nova Scotia, we were with Richard's friend, Stephen Patterson, who he introduced on your show.
Yeah,
That guy's a incredible.
savage.
Crazy.
Stephen and I have been friends for 30 some years, 35 years.
Yeah, we still got to arrange to have him on.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, baby.
He's an
He's a
artist,
genius.
but yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I like this one ever since you first posted it. I was just like, damn, that's really different and really nice.
It's so
You
good.
have like the nice like water pattern of the reflection, where it's like gray, blue, almost black, kind of brown, and then you have the leaves on top, and then you also have the foam. It's like all these layers, and yet it's still very cohesive and feels just really great.
It's a distribution of the tones
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
in the picture space. Yeah.
Yep.
The punctuation of blues and the black.
Did you shoot this recently, like after Utah?
No, this was a few years ago.
Okay.
This was at Algonquin Park, which Richard knows. It's a provincial park about 3 hours from here. It's a beautiful park, and it just all came together because obviously it was a blue sky day, but with clouds, gray clouds, and then the dark is reflection of different trees, because this was in the fall, and all the leaves. Yeah, I was pretty fortunate.
It was brilliant capture. A lot of really great stuff going on here.
Yeah.
Do you remember, Eric, when we talked about the group of 7 painters in Canada, and Tom Thompson was one of them? And that's where he painted a lot as a painter. I remember I sent those books and those links. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a huge park too. I mean,
And it's right near Huntsville, Ontario, and Muskokas.
Yeah, that's Tom Thompson. He died up there mysteriously.
He drowned in his canoe. Yeah, he was one of the painters, and I think I sent you some of the books that related to their work.
He had fishing line around his ankles, so they kind of wondered what happened there. And the guy wasn't very old, so if a group of 7, most of their paintings, you can probably still get a painting for, not that any of us are going to get them, but a couple of $100,000. But his paintings are worth like millions because he died so young that there aren't many of them.
Oh, wow.
But their work is very inspiring for photographers.
Yeah, they have a couple of galleries in Ontario. Gallery of Ontario has a lot of work, and also there's a gallery called the McMichael Gallery that has a lot of work.
Anyway, it's a nice area for sure.
Yep.
It's a provincial park, but it's very famous internationally.
Was this a difficult scene to shoot? Like, was it moving around a lot, or?
Yeah, it was moving around a lot. It was, every second. It was not second, every millisecond it was changing.
Yeah.
A lot of it was moving really quickly. I did take a lot of shots, as Richard knows I do. So I had to go through a lot. Probably most of them I haven't even looked through, but the scene was changing so much, I just kept shooting. Yeah, this was probably about 4 years ago.
Okay,
but
I wasn't sure because you posted it fairly recently, I think. But
after Utah, though, we have a pretty beautiful river about literally 10 minutes from here. It's a big river called the Beaver River. And, there's a lot of good stuff, a lot of good foam. Yeah, I don't know if you saw.
Yeah, you photographed like more foams and foam and leaves and stuff.
Yeah, man, oh man, that was incredible. I almost left because I said, this is too much. Like they were flying like snowflakes. It was so windy. I couldn't believe it. I took a video and all you see is these leaves just endlessly falling. But yeah, it's a pretty beautiful river. So like Richard always says, you got to shoot around your neck of the woods, and if you can't shoot around where you live, then you're not going to do very well if you go away. I think that's what you say, or something like that.
Well, nothing magically happens to you. I mean, that's a good test it's all about how you see and how your imagination works.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously some places they don't have much, but even in urban environments, you can find a lot of stuff. I think too often we place such a high marks on some locale, but yes, they're beautiful, but you need to practice all the time and you can't always travel.
We don't get much fog in Ontario. You see these beautiful fog shots of forests and stuff, but this place in late August, early September tends to get a lot of fog. And
it depends on where you are though, Andy, right? It's like if you're near bodies of water, that's different, but yeah.
But even still here, Georgian Bay, there's fog.
You just need those conditions of temperature, right? Good point.
Oh, baby. That's mine right there.
No, it's not actually.
It's not?
Nice try.
It's Jennifer's.
Nice try, Paul.
Oh, geez. Okay, I sent a bunch. I sent like 30 in because I'm like, Andy deserves the best.
You sent them 5 minutes before the episode, though. Jennifer sent me hers like 2 nights ago.
Oh, come. Oh, Bennett, you're salty about that. I know.
I sent him 3 because I was like, I can't choose, and I'm sure
that's what I did. I did the same thing. It's probably the same 3.
It's pretty hard on Paul there,
I know. Look at him. He's like, you son of a bitch. You make my. All right, Jennifer. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
I like it too.
I love this. Yeah, I love this one, Andrew or Andy. Sorry.
This represents this time of year. Here.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's why, I'm particularly drawn to it. I love ice. The possibilities with ice are just endless. But that contrast of that hole in the ice at the bottom and these undulating lines and just how they flow throughout the scene, it's just stunning.
We could talk
And yeah,
about
I mean,
that.
I love your work. I sent Eric quite a few just because I was like, I like all of these. But yeah, this one particularly.
So cool.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks.
You got a lot of really cool winter stuff. I mean, your winter stuff's. I mean, your stuff's great, but I mean, like winters. I love winter.
Yeah.
It's Canada. So
Thanks.
Yeah. It's you got some badass stuff, dude.
We live in igloos, so
Hey,
just
I'd love
shoot
to
your
live
ceiling.
I'm kind of embarrassed because I didn't realize. I thought just Richard said he's picking one pictures of mine, and I thought there'd be one. I didn't realize all you guys are picking one.
Well,
yeah.
one
So you
is
don't
panelist.
actually watch the show.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, they prepare for the love session.
Yeah.
I watched too many, but yeah, this is. I froze my fingers off on this thing. That was a ditch near my house. I drove by and I kind of put the brakes on, and it was in February. So we had a melt. We often have melts in the middle of winter, and all of a sudden it turns warm and everything melts, and then it freezes the next day. This was a ditch.
I love that. That makes me love this image even more. Those ditches and even puddles that you just drive by and then you like screech to a halt and you're like, oh my God, I have to go shoot that.
So if you live in an urban city, you can, like where I am, you can go out anywhere and find, like this morning it was so frozen that everything would be just like sheets of ice and all the mud puddles and the ditches and so on and so on. So it doesn't have to be a special place to drive to.
Hey,
for the small
Yeah.
small scenes now.
Bennett,
Have
did
to
you hit
open
those
mind and
cookies?
create.
Yeah.
What's that?
I said, Bennett, did you hit those cookies? You're like prepping for liftoff. Look at him. His head's back. I'm like, dude, you hit those cookies. I know you did.
Now I'm just finishing up a week as a single dad living as a nature photographer full
He's
time.
like, bro, I don't even know if that's ice.
I must listen to you guys talk. You have nice voices.
I'm telling you guys, there's some shit in those cookies. Just lean back, bro. Hey, don't fight it.
I just got to lean into it. Yeah. Go through the
Don't
door. I'm
fight
going to
it.
open the door right now.
Suspicious.
I don't want to see your feet though, Eric. That might be a little too far.
Hey, phase 1 is total relaxation. It's cool. Andy, this guy's on fire right now.
Yeah.
One of the cool things with ice is that, I mean, you go back there the next day, it's totally different. Like it's
That's a good point.
so dynamic.
It's the sculptural qualities, right?
Yeah, and it can be even better the next day. We're just like, gone.
yeah.
Like it's like you just never know,
Yeah, that's really
Yeah, it's interesting how like fairly ubiquitous ice is, but yet it's so hard to find like great stuff like this.
Well,
And then you find it when you least expect it. Like it's never when you're trying. You know, like, oh, the temperature's gonna be low. We're gonna find ice because this place is water. Like it never works out like that. It's always serendipitous.
You have to let go and just take whatever you find.
Yeah.
We had a big rain event like early this week. So we got like maybe like inch and a half of rain, and then the temperatures just plummeted. So, but the streams rose, and then they froze and receded. So it was just crazy what was just laying around in the forest floors, and but it's all gone. It just like
Yeah.
even just like 2 days later, it's like
Yeah.
very cool.
very cool.
Very transient.
well, here's been snowing. When the temperature drops, it also snows. So the snow covers the ice in it.
Right.
Oh.
But
But it's in phase 3.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'll take over as host when he hits.
Yeah.
Dude, we're
just having
only
a crazy
1/3 of
dream
the
right
way
now.
through the weekend here.
Dude, freaking Bennett, you son of a bitch.
I had a dream that I was spending my Friday night talking with some old
he's
guys
got
on a
something
computer.
tomorrow.
Hey.
I said old guys. I didn't say old guys and old girl.
Yeah.
Okay.
And getting cookies delivered.
Yeah. Delivery. Uh-huh.
Exactly.
Cookies.
Days like
The
this.
people that brought them, they're
When are they going
Mormons.
to be
So.
here?
Maybe that's
Otherwise
why
I
you're
would've.
so relaxed
Nah.
with those cookies having them.
I didn't realize they made that shit in Salt Lake. That was weird. You must be outside of Salt Lake proper.
He's not denying it.
He's on the. He's on the.
I know.
He's on the
The
fringe.
silence says it all.
Dude, look at him. He's guilty as fuck.
Did you see the Cookie Monster on Family Guy? He was in rehab.
Yeah, I have seen that.
That's funny.
Oh shit! I sort of saw a Sasquatch walk in the background in Jennifer's camera.
It was a sighting.
I let him out of his room every now and then.
Slender Man.
Caught on film.
I guess the other
Is
thing
David on? Is David on the next episode?
Oh, he's in like 2 days.
Yeah, he's coming.
Oh,
He's
man.
coming in hot.
He's going for the marathon.
You know,
He's our ender.
Oh wow!
he's a closer.
Closer.
Yeah, closing act.
Yep.
I was going to say, Richard,
Are you on that one, Jennifer?
Huh?
Does it?
Are you
Oh,
on
I'll
his?
be there.
Does it involve juggling the closing act?
that'll be
Juggling cameras.
You better send in some pics of that.
Yeah, I got to get on that actually. Yes, Eric reminded me.
Yeah, kind of like you just called me out a minute ago. It's
What are you gonna say, Andy?
I was going to say the other thing about this ice is you got to be so careful. Richard and I have talked about this. You know, you step the wrong way and you bust it.
Yeah.
Like,
So
like my feet were like so far apart. I didn't want to touch anything because as soon as you touch it, you'll get a crack. And
Because you want to get parallel over top of it and so on. And
this actually I shot. So another thing Richard does a lot of that he taught me that I didn't really believe in at first was shooting with the iPhone. And I used my camera and I just couldn't get the right angle and stuff. So I pulled out my iPhone and it's so much better. And
All right. It was great having you on the show, Andy.
in closing.
camera use is
We'll
irrelevant.
run out of time. What do you know?
did I say iPhone?
Got to bring on our next guest.
The camera you use is absolutely irrelevant, and it's your vision that all that matters. Who gives a fuck about camera equipment?
That's right.
This is the Richard I love.
It's such a waste of time.
Yeah.
As long as you have Nikon, that's all that matters.
Did I mention I shot this with my Nikon?
Yeah, right.
There we go. There we go.
No, but seriously, all you need is vision. I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, I've seen shit work on 4x5 and it doesn't really matter. If you don't have vision, it doesn't matter what camera you have.
It's a good point. It's a really good point.
Yeah.
When you were shooting this, Andy, what did you think about that little black hole? Were you like happy about it at first? Were you like kind of frustrated with it?
Yeah, at first I was, and then I liked it. I know some people have seen this image don't like it. I personally like it.
Really? I feel like it makes the image. Without it, it wouldn't
It's
work.
kind of boring.
Yeah.
But
Did you use one of those chef's flames? You know, the chefs have the little flames where they do their desserts.
And I
Did you
burned
use
it.
that to burn the hole in the ice?
I just butted out my cigarette on there, Richard.
Was the guy walking a dog? You grabbed the cigarette and just melted that?
Yeah.
Good point, though, Eric, about the hole.
Yeah, I just figured like it's kind of an imperfection that people might not like while they're photographing this, but I wanted to point it out because it like makes the image for me.
It's an anomaly, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what the photographer has to think is that they have to be pleased with it and not worry about what other people think. Because it's not important what other people think so much.
Yeah.
Yep.
So like Eric asked me, I liked it.
Cool.
And I
I
just
was
like
curious.
the shape of it. And it kind of matches the line and it's oval.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like a kind of a weird shape. It flows with the image, I thought.
Sure. Yeah, it feels organic. Doesn't feel like somebody broke it or just, started melting a little quicker.
Yeah, sometimes when you have leaves below, they attract the heat from the sun more and it melts certain parts more readily.
Yeah.
It was funny. Jimmy said, you go back to the same spot the next time. it's different. I actually went back because I enjoyed this so much, and yeah, it was all gone.
Even by the hours, it changes.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
literally.
I thought it wouldn't be because it had been stayed cold and it didn't snow. So I thought, but I think there's some like a bit of running water underneath there, and
Yeah. Or if there's any heat from the ground, even underneath.
Yeah.
I've
Ice
seen-
has probably been, I was just going to say, ice has been my biggest teacher, I think, in teaching me if you see something, shoot it. Even
Yeah.
just an hour or two later, it can completely go away and totally
Yeah.
change. I have had that mistake so many times. So, yeah.
Yeah, once the sun hits it, or
Yeah.
a lot of other variables, but
Or
the sun hits
dogs run through it. That's also brutal.
Yeah, people.
Yeah.
that happened to me on the beach. I went to Haida Gwaii this past, was it spring? And Haida Gwaii used to be the Queen Charlotte Islands. It's off the coast of BC, Vancouver, north of
I've
Vancouver.
never heard of it before.
Between Alaska and Vancouver Island. It's this beautiful island with these beautiful beaches. And I was shooting this seaweed on the beach, and this dog ran up to me and wanted to play and like stepped all over my composition.
Oh no.
Oh, well. But yeah, no, Queen Charlotte's was a pretty beautiful place, man.
That happened to me. It sounds weird. It happened to me in Ecuador. I was photographing the ocean from the beach, and I realized there's a dog that came up and lifted its leg on my tripod. I was like, what the hell?
Marking its territory.
Yeah. No,
Tripod's mine now, boy.
Absolutely.
Was it a Gitzo?
Yeah.
No. It was really right stuff. So salt water took it off. But it was pretty funny. The dog did not care.
After that, it moved on to Jimmy's leg.
It was close. Yes.
It's a pretty cool study in shapes.
Yeah, this is the one I picked out. I didn't know what it was at first, so I had to kind of read the description to kind of understand it more. But that's never a problem. It was just it was really cool to kind of realize what it was after you had kind of explained it a bit. But so it's like two different forms of ice, and the snow had filled in between them on a lake.
Yeah, exactly. On Abraham Lake. That's where all the bubbles are.
Oh, right,
Yeah.
right.
But when I went there weren't many bubbles. But yeah, the ice kind of shifts and collapses. And so, yeah, there were kind of two levels. And as you can see, the texture of the ice was completely different. And there's a little ridge and all the wind there is unbelievable.
Oh yeah.
It's so cold. It is
Yeah,
so,
Mark Adamus has some photos showing that.
yeah, it's like, oh my gosh. I've never been so
I've seen
cold.
videos of like people's tripods just like sliding across the ice and stuff. And
Yep. I broke a rooftop tent there. Cracked it right in half.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Put about a 2-foot crack right in the top of it.
Wow.
dang.
From the
Guessing
wind,
it's
you mean?
cold.
Yeah. It's just ripping. Is this an aerial image?
No, this is like, seriously, this is like a section of ice, maybe 8 inches wide. And my tripod and camera were about a foot off the ground or something.
Okay. And you just got that snowdrift right there. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, there's so much stuff there. There's just like little ribbons of snow and ice. And there were some bubbles, but they weren't great. But
There's like big cracks and fissures
Yeah.
and things.
it's all, and you know what the weirdest thing is? Closer to shore, you look through the ice. Most of it was covered by snow, and I know that photographers don't want that. Some guys bring out brooms and stuff, but some of the ice closer to shore, which is the most dangerous ice, because you can fall through that easier. Because I think it's warmer closer to shore, and anyways, you can see fish underneath.
Oh yeah.
Oh, wow.
You look through this ice and you see these fish. But yeah, it was a pretty cool experience.
Did you drive over there, Andy, or did you fly into like Calgary or something?
Flew into Calgary and then drove up. And and you can camp there. It's so easy to camp there.
That's a great camping spot.
Yeah, you can camp like literally 2 minutes away from this. But But I stayed in Nordic in a motel with about 40 minutes, or maybe it took a 40-minute drive, but it was brutal. In the morning, it was like minus 39 and stuff like that degrees Celsius. It was like you kind of go.
What would the camping temperatures be if you were camping overnight?
The same, but
minus 40.
Yeah,
it's still. I used to go there every year, and I go there every couple of years now. Oh yeah, I spend a lot of time up there, and it's. I do a lot of snow camping up there. It's great. This is excellent. I love this.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's really great.
Yeah, it has just a stone like the lower third of it there. It's like
it looks like a rock.
Stone-like property.
Yeah,
to it.
totally
It's
does.
so cool. Like I've never
Like a
seen
lava
ice
rock.
look like that. Right, yeah.
Yeah. When I saw it on Instagram, because it was smaller, I had no idea what it was. But now that I'm seeing it larger, I figured out it was ice. But it's still just kind of mind bending, and it kind of goes back and forth, like feeling large and small, large and small.
Was it like January, February, or what time we talking here, Andy?
I went there twice that year. So this was late February, closer to March.
Okay.
We kind of missed the really good ice and all that stuff. And, of course, a lot of people go there because they want the ice bubbles in the foreground with the beautiful Mount Michener, I think it is, in the background. And, but man, I sure was drawn to these small scenes way more.
Oh yeah. You could spend days out there on that small stuff, right?
Yeah.
Well, you see hundreds of pictures of the ice with the background, and I don't know which photographer had it. Whereas this is about seeing a design.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
You won't see hundreds of these because it's not obvious.
Yeah, totally agree.
Thank you.
This one's yours, Paul. And this is one that I almost picked out, so I was glad that you chose it.
Come on, dude.
This is very Eric Bennett.
No, I mean, yeah, I don't know how you don't. I mean, I totally get why you would pick this as well, Eric. But there's just like, anything with ice and snow and winter scenes. Yeah, when I was going through, similar to Jennifer, I had picked quite a few and just kind of sent them in to say, hey, these are three that are awesome. And I'm glad you threw this one up, Eric, because this is absolutely sick.
What makes it special for me is just like the little spotlight on the leaf on the
Yeah, and the veins on the leaf.
Dare I say it, on the right third, but I know what you're thinking, Andy.
Exactly. I was paying attention to the rules.
Andy, that template really is working for you. I like the barnacle, little bottom part, this little purpley blue, looks like barnacles.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's incredible. This is a really incredible shot. It's got really nice tones, really nice colors. If Mikey was on this show, he'd really love a print on this, so we'll have to get back to him.
This
was
was
send him a 20 by 30.
another dip.
See? Yep.
Yeah, this is great.
Love it. Yeah, there's like a haunting beauty to this.
Yeah.
Like a little bit of light. Yeah.
That's super cool.
Kind of skeletal, right?
So is that like a little piece of light that was coming through like the trees above or something? Or because I can already get like that fine of a spotlight that's like only the size of a leaf. It's like
I had a flashlight.
okay.
No, it's like it was in a ditch, and there's a row of evergreens, and this was early in the morning, so the sun was just kind of coming up, and it just poked through the evergreen branches and spotlight.
Yeah,
Andy's working the ditches.
Yeah,
you could do a ditch
tip.
workshop.
Ditch boy,
Pro
man.
tip right there. It's Toronto Ditches by Andy.
Yeah, ditches are the best places.
They are.
For lots of things.
Yeah. I think it's because they're like shallow and they sort of fill with water, and there's no running water. Streams are not good because running water never freezes.
Sure.
Except for the edges are pretty nice, though, on freezing.
Yeah, exactly.
It can be,
Small ones.
but it is
Small
harder.
ones, yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. Love it. Love it.
Thank you.
The texture is cool too. It's not like it's like clear, smooth ice, that you get. It's like slush and like raindrops were hitting it to create, like those dimple marks. So
And there's like a real gritty, fine texture too, if you look closely.
Yeah. Because if it was like clear, smooth, it would lose something, you know.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
That crystal clear.
You're amazing, Andy.
Andy.
Stage 5 right there.
Yeah.
Stage 5.
Yeah.
What's the final stage? How many more stages can I expect?
Stage 6 is the final boss.
How long is this ride? Okay. I can handle that.
When you face dump onto your keyboard, that's stage 6.
Yeah.
I like how we're keeping track of this bastard.
Gotta keep tabs.
Someone should shine a flashlight into his eyes.
Exactly. Look in Utah. Let's go.
2 down, 6 to go. Or 4 to go, sorry.
It's like a Jerry Lewis telethon.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
It's like that Labor Day thing all over.
That's right. Oh shit.
Beautiful images all around.
Yeah,
Thank you.
beautiful stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, what a really great selection. That was super fun. Really great images.
Yeah.
I had fun picking them. I was looking forward to this.
That's cool.
Me
We've been
too.
looking forward to it.
Ever since we hung out on day one, I was like, oh, this guy's got to be on the show.
Yeah.
No
Glad you
brainer.
did it.
Eric asked me, how would you feel about being on the show? Yeah, but I was a tiny bit nervous, I have to admit.
You say, I don't know about you savages. After looking at dick pics, you're like, I don't know.
Yeah. I told Richard that maybe after I got beat up on the show, you guys could call it Brews and Views, BRUISE.
I'm glad you keep on with them, Richard. It was a really good compliment to have you both on at the same time. That was really strategic. Thanks. That was a good call, Eric.
Keep
Yeah,
going,
it was
Eric's
really
idea.
fun.
I put thought into this shit.
No, that's perfect. You know what you're doing, bro. That was before liftoff.
Pulling all the strings in the back.
Eric's pretty perceptive.
He is. He knows what he's doing.
But yeah, Richard's, yeah, like I said, very generous. He seems sort of like, you know, he's very contemplative here, but he has an incredible sense of comedy and loves music, man.
I have to hold myself back, Eric. I promised Eric I'd be quiet.
Yeah. Me and Andy have like so many favorite bands in common. Like he also likes the Great Lake Swimmers, which is crazy because that's like one of my favorite bands ever. And
I've seen him in
likes,
concert 6 times.
he likes
Really?
Blue Rodeo. What? You listen to them, Richard?
I've been to. I talked to the singer in the last concert,
Whatever.
and I told him I saw him 28 years ago before he was famous. I saw him in Kingston at a beautiful theater, and 5 or 6 times. Yeah, Blue Rodeo maybe 20 sometimes.
Wow.
Concerts, but the Tragically Hip are like my hometown band.
Let me see your tattoos.
There's a great documentary on
You have
Netflix
to drop his pants to
about
that.
the hip.
Yes.
You guys are crazy. Yeah,
I
there's a
think
lot of.
you and I went to 2 Blue Rodeo concerts, the one in Toronto and then the one at the Hoedown.
Yeah,
The hoedown. Holy shit. That's
I've never been to a hoedown.
Canadian Hoedown.
well, it's just there was a very wealthy guy who owns this complex that he actually hired them to do this. They do this thing every year. Anyway, yeah. So what about Half Moon Run? I mean, that's like top of the list, man. Half Moon Run,
Duh.
young guys.
Yeah. I got them on my chest. I won't brag,
Their
but
first 3 albums were fantastic.
What's it called? Half Moon Run?
Half Moon Run.
I just thought Richard liked Justin Bieber and Celine Dion and
I don't know anything about Justin Bieber, but he is Canada's gift to the U.S.
We're happy to give him back.
But what about what about Rush?
Exactly.
What about
Yeah, Rush is a
They're, like,
classic.
iconic.
Rush is good.
yeah.
Yeah.
April Wine, that's an old band. Was Sum
April
41?
Wine?
But
Yeah.
yeah,
Sum
April
41 was
like,
Canadian.
Yeah,
What was that?
Sum 41 is Canadian. Yeah,
41.
Yeah,
That looks
like,
it looks
music hall of
Richard and
fame.
Andy's
Poppy punk
album
band.
cover.
Yeah,
Sum 41
right.
are amazing. Bare Naked Ladies.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
They have the theme
Hey.
song.
I grew up listening to Gordon Lightfoot. So
Yeah, Gordon Lightfoot.
my
and
gosh.
what about Joni Mitchell?
my parents,
Also.
to be fair.
Jennifer's like flexing. I like that.
Joni Mitchell is
Holy
also
shit.
iconic.
Gordon Lightfoot was like amazing.
Yeah, that's a
But wait a minute. What about Neil Young? He's the grandfather of grunge music.
That's true. Yeah.
No,
that's a good point.
Him a few
Is it
times.
Richard Cohen? Is he Canadian?
Yeah, I mean Leonard Cohen.
Leonard Cohen. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, he's Canadian, and his son also is a great singer. He passed last year, or a couple years ago.
Oh wow.
Ryan Adams. He was born in my little city.
Yeah, Ryan Adams. Yeah.
And don't forget Corey Hart, Richard.
Corey Hart.
Corey Hart.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Forgot about that. That's a good
Ross
one.
Tagger. Triumph.
Triumph.
Trooper. Burton Cummings. Sarah McLachlan.
All right. Now you're just
Sarah
reading off of
McLachlan.
Google.
Oh, I'm not reading off Google.
Come on, come
Just
on.
reading off Canadian bands that I have on my
Nice.
Spotify. I have like millions of songs.
Beatles, Rolling Stone.
Richard's just on fire.
I can't live without music. Music is everything to me, maybe more than
day.
photography.
That's cool.
What's your favorite genre right now?
I'm all over the place, but I've been really digging Greta Van Fleet recently, even though they're not new. Just
Okay.
unbelievable. These three brothers from Michigan.
Crazy.
They sounded like Led Zeppelin,
Yep.
but now they have these. They could be a lot of things. I hear a bit of Rush in them. I hear a bit of all kinds of stuff. But their music. They're best served up loud and very loud.
Yeah. Lately,
So,
I've been
if you're-
intentionally using music to like change my mood when I want to, because I feel like we underestimate the power that it has. Like you can be in the shittiest mood or like angry or whatever, and you listen to one of those songs, and it's just like within 30 seconds, you're just like you're out of that mindset and you're somewhere else entirely. So I've been like intentionally using it to get myself into different zones or out of zones or
Especially like in the gym or something, right?
yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, or if you're just having a bad day, like using music to just like get you into a positive
No, that's
space.
Yeah.
super.
I
Richard,
have
what do you
playlists from different genres from like all over the place. I like in the architect's office, I listen to classical music, but I really was sort of raised on rock music. And so when
do you
I was
listen-
like in my 20s, early 20s, it was like, the Rolling Stones and all the typical ones, right? Led Zeppelin, Jethro Tull, all those bands. I mean, all over the place. And also some lesser known. Like actually, do you know Ron Sexsmith? He's a guy from Ontario. Elton John and Rod Stewart rave about him all the time. Yeah,
Those are
Tom
reliable.
Cochran, Brian, Corey Hart. Yeah, I've mentioned those. Sarah McLachlan. I don't know. I mean, I like her, but I mean, it's not one of my main.
What do you
There's so
listen
much
to in your
music out there
process?
that
Spiced.
Like when you're processing, Richard, what are you listening to?
everything. I mean,
what I was gonna
whatever mood, like Eric said, whatever mood I want to be in. I separate like 70s, 60s, 80s.
I need classical.
Classical.
Like if I'm processing, I need classical. I don't want any vocals. I want like classical piano or classical guitar
or new age music too. I like new age.
That's
wouldn't be
what
bad.
I do.
That
Yeah.
wouldn't be bad. Just something that's like
Ambient, sort of
focus on
ambient
it,
music like
that.
Brian Eno. And
Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember back when there used to be stores with albums and you would go in there and all these 12 by 12 album covers were just pieces of art. And we had a really good store in Kingston. It was just miles of records. And I would just, even between bookstores and record stores, just looking at and the guy in there that was working, the young guy, he really knew about music. So I get into new age music as well, but I like the fact that I can listen to all kinds of different music. Whatever mood I want to be in, I can totally change the mood.
Yeah.
But without music, it's a drug. I have to have it every day.
that's cool.
Music,
One of the drugs.
exercise, and whatever else. Yeah. Creativity.
It feels like
I
we're all
can't-
the same.
Yeah. I can't process without music. Like,
And art.
Yeah.
it's always on.
I write
Oh.
in silence, but
Mm-hmm.
I can't write with anything. I have to have silence for writing, but
yeah.
when I'm processing,
I used to write
it
with
doesn't-
music, like with lyrics and shit somehow when I was like in my 20s. I don't
It's tough,
know
though.
how I did
It'd be
it.
super
I can't,
tough, dude.
I can't have any noise or anything now, and I still drive myself crazy.
Yeah,
So-
writing's the only thing that I can't have music for.
Nah, no way. Yeah, processing
But-
is like it's hit or miss. Like
And comedy is also equally important to music. I mean, that's a prescription for everybody. Comedy, creativity, exercise, music. How can you possibly get down with all that?
You got to get up to get down, Richard.
Yeah.
Another shirt.
Another shirt, yeah. Isn't that a song? Chumbawamba?
Maybe.
Just have to change the Richard part. That's all.
I get knocked down, I get back
That's
up
what I
again.
do.
That's your theme song, right? You don't have a theme song for Brews and Views. You should have that.
No, we got one. Eric fucking nailed that shit last
Months ago.
anniversary show. Dude, it's absolutely money. If you guys haven't seen the anniversary show, do yourself
Oh,
a
is
favor.
it? Yeah?
Yeah. He freaking crushed it.
Well, you can't hear the whole song, though. I'll just send you the song and you can listen to it.
Yeah. We listened
Okay.
to it down in the desert when we were camping. It is a gold mine. It is a gold mine. And look at him. Level 6.
I've been
Jennifer.
working on a new one in my
Yeah,
head. I
there
just
it
haven't
is.
sat down to crank it out.
Look at him.
Level 6.
He's like, I got the
Get
5th.
my curiosity.
He's like, I got the 5th ring. Call me Thanos. Look at him. He's at the final boss.
Yeah.
I'm just sitting back and appreciating the moment.
You bake at 350 for 20 minutes. And you flip him once.
Look at him. I don't even want to see you on Sunday, bro. I don't even want to look at you.
I'm worried that it's going to go all the way back. And
Paul, are you into this for the whole duration?
No, he's not
No,
going to do a lot, right?
I'm tapping out for a couple of them. I can't hang with these youngsters.
And Jimmy's in for the whole thing?
Yeah, because I'm
he's
not
my
as old
wingman.
as that old.
Now you know how Jerry Lewis feels.
Jimmy's going deep.
Wow.
He just got out of school, so
Shot fired.
he's partying this weekend.
Yeah, Jimmy's going streaking.
No.
He's headed to the bar after this.
Yeah, no, it's you're about to.
He's going to get what's left of the lobster.
Yeah.
Some lobster leftovers.
Probably the dog ate it by now.
You know what'd be fun is like Sunday, the final episode, have everybody on after the weekend. That'd just be a freaking show, bro.
Sloppy.
Oh yeah,
show.
it would be like what 20 people. Just say, hey,
Yeah.
we fucking made it through level freaking 23.
Be like
Final
wheeling
boss.
my IV bag around.
Final an IV bag.
Wouldn't it be funny?
Your banana bag.
It would.
Yes.
All right, well, I better go rescue dinner here.
Yeah.
Cool. Appreciate you coming on, Andy.
Nice meeting
Good
you.
stuff.
Andy, really appreciate you coming on. Richard, always great.
Did you pour a second beer, Andy?
no, not yet. I got
You
it
went
here.
lightweight on us, huh?
Well, I didn't want to. Here, hold on.
Oh, here we
You don't
go.
have to. I was just
No, I wanted
poured a
to,
second
but I
one.
wanted
are you
to,
mixing it with the other one.
Oh, look what Richard has.
I poured a second one.
learn my words.
Why didn't you say anything, Richard?
one is
It's
What's that
from
one?
Bad Shepherd.
Oh,
Dude.
Bad Shepherd Brewery in
Double
Australia.
chocolate?
Yeah, double chalk. Hazelnut brown,
You
barley.
son of a
And
bitch, Richard.
it's just another
No wonder
a-
you got so snarky.
7.2. It's not even it's not even approved by Paul. He says, "What are you talking about? It's not 12 or 15."
I don't even piss 7.2.
The cool thing about this is that
Okay.
the can is black. Let's see.
It's like
All the way up.
brown.
Actually, honestly, I didn't realize it was from Australia. I just grabbed a couple and I thought it was from Canada.
Like everything.
Hey,
Hey,
I only said that once because I don't say that, but it's a stereotype.
Andy does.
Oh, Andy says it, right?
Yeah.
I haven't.
Eric,
said it
have you ever
today,
heard me
have I?
say A?
Hey,
Maybe.
I think we need to work that in, eh?
I actually say it, so it wouldn't really stand out to me.
well, Jimmy's like honorary Canadian there with his 2K.
Yeah, eh?
Yes.
Are you saying that if you go on to YouTube and look up Bob and Doug McKenzie, there was a lot of parody with Canadian stereotypes in the plaid shirts.
Yeah.
And Geddy Lee from Rush, the lead singer of Rush, played into it in a couple episodes. And it's pretty funny. It's all the
Yes.
stereotypes.
That's awesome.
The toque, the plaid shirt, the hoser, the beer. You know, we used to have those. When I was young, we had those stubby beers, like little fat beers. Like they're still a pint, but they were like little stubby bottles.
Round.
Yeah.
No.
That was back when we had horse and carriage and stuff. I got to school on horse and carriage with my long hair.
Dude, that photo was money.
Yeah.
Well, that photo,
I got that.
I can clearly take. It was taken with a Canon because look at how pixelated it is.
Yeah.
Those sensors.
I mean, we're closing out the year in style. That may be the photo of the year. I'm not even fucking with you.
Well, the negative exists somewhere.
Yeah, we need higher
I'll have
resolution.
to find a better image.
That was legit as.
Yeah, I think we got to run it through Topaz a few times.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know,
no
it's
hope.
been upscale with gigapixel and
Yeah.
But I did have black hair though, so that's a good.
Dude, you're an absolute savage.
I think next episode you guys should get him to, or next one he's on, to bring those topless ones.
God.
The big muscles.
And the baby oil.
I think you should work on him, Eric. He was like ripped.
They were innocent pictures taken by my girlfriend in high school. I was 16.
Allegedly.
Completely.
Yeah, right. You're like, pause the orgy.
I was topless because it was swimming. Okay, let's put the context here correctly.
Yeah, well, they were nice. The cheetah thong didn't fit very well.
Time out.
Hey, Richard's like, hey, no pictures.
Paul, I can relate to Paul about those guns, right?
That's right. That's right. You just cut the sleeves off, brother. What you got to do?
Paul told me he went to a concert and some women ripped his sleeves off.
That's right.
That's a true story.
Yep. They were
That's
lined
the
up.
Hollywood true story.
Yep, true story.
All right. Cheers, you guys.
It's going downhill
Cheers.
fast. Cheers.
Here's everybody.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming on, Andy.
Whoever I'd never met before.
Yeah, it's nice meeting you.
Thanks
Yes,
for everything,
super
guys.
nice meeting you.
Yeah, you too, Jennifer, Jimmy, Paul.
Yep, Andy. Awesome.
Have a
Every
great
night.
season, great holiday season, and see you down the road.
Merry Christmas, happy holidays, all that stuff.
Awesome.
And it's good to everyone.